It's Pac-10 College Football Saturday presented by Phillips Televisions. Today from Strawberry Canyon in Berkeley, California, players make their traditional march to victory.
Cal senior Shane Vereen is a 1,000-yard tailback with a linebacker attitude. Colorado's Scotty McKnight is one of the most feared playmakers in the Big 12. Today, we'll see who will back off. Altitude versus attitude. The Big 12 Colorado Buffaloes herd into Berkeley to take on the Pac-10 Cal Golden Bears. College football action starts now.
It's an absolutely gorgeous afternoon in the East Bay of Northern California. A perfect time to get crazy for college football. Welcome to College Football Saturday presented by Phillips Televisions. Today from Memorial Stadium, it's the Colorado Buffaloes and the California Golden Bears. It seems like only yesterday that a young Golden Bear named Mike Pulaski was tearing up the gridiron in Berkeley, and in 1991 would go on to be named Pac-10 Player of the Year. Hi everybody, I'm Steve Physiak. I'm with that guy Mike Pulaski right now, and this is a future conference opener. Colorado will be invited into the Pac-10 conference either next year or the year after, and the Buffaloes want to show the Pac-10 how good they can be.
Absolutely. Here's the initial calling card. Coming into Memorial Stadium, sending a message that says, we're coming, you better look out.
Well, they better slow down Shane Vereen because this running back who replaces Javid Best is really fast.
Yeah, he has been in Javid Best's shadow for the last couple of years. Now it's his turn to shine. He has 10-3 speed in the 100, no drop off in speed, and he's great on the inside game. He led the team with 952 yards last year and 12 touchdowns after the injury of Javid Best. But on the other side, Colorado has their own player, Scotty McKnight, now the record-holding receiver for all-time grabs for the Buffaloes. Here's a guy that gets the ball in traffic. He finds a way to get open, and he knows how to use his body. 171 receptions so far, and the record's going to keep growing today.
Tyler Hansen will be getting that football. On the other side, Kevin Riley starts at quarterback for Cal. Let's go to Michael Eaves to talk more about Mr. Riley.
All right, Steve, thanks a lot. You know, just as it has the past several decades, the Pac-10 yet again has produced a crop of top-caliber quarterbacks. Andrew Luck, Jake Locker, Nick Foles, Matt Barkley. But all of those quarterbacks pale in comparison to the experience and production of Cal senior quarterback Kevin Riley, the active leader in the conference in wins and touchdowns. In fact, his career totals of 40 touchdowns against just 15 interceptions produced the third best touchdown to interception ratio since 2002. The only two guys better, Matt Leinart and Aaron Rodgers. He says he uses being overlooked as motivation to get better. We'll find out how much better he's gotten today when he faces this Big 12 defense from Colorado. That's coming up next on Pac-10 College Football Saturday, presented by Phillips Television.
Welcome back to Berkeley for Colorado and California. Whether tailgating at the stadium or watching at home, kick off your day with Hess Avocados. Let's go down to Michael Eaves, who's with California coach Jeff Tedford.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Jeff, obviously last week, a lopsided win in your opener against UC Davis, a much better opponent across the field today. What signs of early success will you be looking for?
Well, that we play together as a team. We're smart with the football. We don't turn the football over. And we make good decisions and play very hard.
Appreciate the time. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Well, the magic number today for Cal guys is 30 points. The last 29 times they've scored 30 or more points in the game, they've all been victories.
Thank you, Michael. And this is the 5th game in this series. The last meeting was 28 years ago to the day in 1982, and Colorado won that game in Boulder 31-17 in a rainstorm. Here's California and their quarterback, Kevin Riley. Colorado won the toss. They have deferred to the second half, so Riley will get the football first. The Buffaloes, meantime, Mike Pulaski, have not won a road game in more than 2 years.
That's right, 13 games. They're looking to break that road streak. Meanwhile, the Bears have been so very good at home. And, you know, Jeff Tedford pointed out he wanted to see how his team comes out this year. This team, he said he likes them a lot. He likes their competitive spirit. He likes the mentality of his squad.
There is Eric Goodman. He'll be kicking off to Isi Sofele and also Keenan Allen. Allen is the talented true freshman we've been hearing so much about from Greensboro, North Carolina. And both of the guys back deep can really fly. Goodman will allow for a return, and it is fumbled, and Cal picks it off at the 23-yard line, but almost a huge mistake by Isi Sofele, but he falls in the football. And it'll be Kevin Riley, the quarterback for California, a 6'2 senior from Portland, Oregon. Threw for almost 3,000 yards last year and 18 scores.
One of the big things that Kevin had to work on coming into this season is confidence. He's had an up and down career. He said, look, I've had all the lows and highs of a college quarterback, everything you can do. This year I worked on confidence. In the offseason, he worked on footwork, he worked on technique, and he's a much more confident player coming into his senior year.
Great game last week in a 52-3 win over UC Davis. 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions. He completes his first pass and has the football up near a first down past the 32-yard line. Well, California, let's check out their starting lineup. It's brought to you by Phillips Televisions, and they have a very good offensive line where Narrow is the center and a Remington candidate. But watch out for Mitchell Schwartz on the left side. He goes 6'5", 310. Backs and receivers, Vereen, we told you about. Allen is the speedy freshman wide receiver, and Anthony Miller, the tight end, goes 6'3", 261, and he is an outstanding honors candidate.
Outstanding up in front. He's a great blocker. He can get open in the play action pass and catch the ball. He's your all-around tight end. I know Andy Ludwig, offensive coordinator for the Bears, loves his tight end package this year.
And Jeff Tedford would love to have this all day long. Second down and short. Just 1 yard to go. Might see Vereen's first carry here, and they're changing the play at the line of scrimmage. It is Vereen for the first down. He needed to get to the 33 and got to the 34. The tackle's made by Michael Sapilli. Let's check out the defense for Colorado. It too is brought to you by Phillips Televisions, and on that defensive front, the middle, not much size there in Cunningham and Precheck, but they need the rush ends to get to that quarterback. Linebackers, Sapilli, Major, and Alice. Major's the man in the middle, could lead the team in tackles this year. They have 2 terrific corners in Smith and Brown. From the 35, the man in motion is Eric Stevens, and they hand it off to Shane Vereen, and Vereen spins around, still on his feet, past the 40-yard line to the 41. Mike, this guy was slowed up in summer camp because of a hamstring.
Exactly. He had an off-season hamstring injury, tweaked it a little bit, not a full pull, but was slowed up in camp. But you can see that he has all the quicks. And last year as a backup to Javid Best, Jeff Tedford used to tell us all the time, there's no drop-off when he comes in, and he shows it right there. Again, a 10-300, great moves, and really explosive tailback.
He was fabulous last year when Javid Best went down with the injury against Oregon State. And here goes Vereen, close to a first down. It will be 3rd down and 1 as Ray Pope, a former running back now playing safety, makes the tackle.
Little clothesline right up there around the neck on the tackle. Took Vereen right off of his feet. But Shane actually, his injury in camp was actually a benefit for the Bears this year because Issei Sofele, the backup back, they were having Kovan Devosky Johnson and Sofele competing for that spot, and Sofele really stepped up, so they found their true second tailback because of the handling for Vereen.
Cal ran for 230 yards last week in their victory over Davis, and there was movement on the left side of the defensive line and ran into the right tackle. That's Josh Hardigan.
Defense, number 50.
So it's a first down for Cal.
First down.
Tell me about Cal's keys to the game.
Well, in order for the Bears to have success today, they're going to have to do several things. Offensively, they're going to have to run the football. They're a running football team under Tedford. They're going to have to run it. They're also going to have to protect Kevin Riley, give him that confidence that we talked about, and then they have to get the ball to the new freshman, Keenan Allen. He's my prediction for freshman of the year in the Pac-10 this year. You need to get on the rock.
Well, he's in single coverage right now, off on the top of your screen, number 21. Riley looking away. Now he'll run, and Kevin has a first down near the 40-yard line. Poke on the tackle, and a good read by Riley.
And one of the things that Kevin did really well early in his career, rather than sitting in the pocket and taking the sack, he used his feet, he kept his depth, but did a nice job when it wasn't there, pull it down and run. He only had 2 receivers in the route. They were running short slants on the outside to both sides. He said, it's not there. I'm going to try to move the sticks myself.
They mark him down at the 41. Colorado showing blitz. They run the football to Shane Vereen. Short gain of just a yard. Hard to get in that area for the tackle, along with Anthony Perkins, a 200-pound junior from North Glen, Ohio, who comes from a football family. His father, Don Perkins, great running back for the Dallas Cowboys in that Tom Landry, Dan Reeves era.
A lot of great family lineage in this game on both sides of the football. A lot of former pros, former college players as parents for a lot of these kids.
So Felly's in the game as the tailback. Might be a passing down on 2nd down and 9. They look to Jones, and Riley, being tripped up, barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. And excellent coverage by that secondary for Colorado. Nick Casa on the hit, along with John Major.
Nice job by Colorado, overloading the left side of the line. You try to send more bodies than you can get a hat on, and defensively they did. West Forest in a delayed dog off the outside, making the tackle, but a good job of getting more white shirts out there than you have blue shirts to block them.
3rd down and 10. First real challenge for that defense and for the quarterback, Kevin Riley. Blitz on. Riley picks it up, and he misses his target. That was Keenan Allen, who was open over the middle.
He tried to aim the football. He tried to make a last-minute adjustment in the throw and tried to aim it. And that could be one of those communication things. You've got a young receiver going to come off the left side of your screen in here. Riley not quite ready, not expecting where to break because they haven't worked together enough at this point. But he pulled back, aimed it, and when you do that, you tend to short stride and the ball goes high. Unfortunate for the Bears because they had him.
Now one of the best punters in college football on, Brian Anger from Camarillo. Try and hit it inside the 10, and he will. The fair catch made at the 5-yard line. I thought they might let it go. Instead, Coleman Edmond, Trayvon Patterson there for the fair catch. Welcome to Pac-10 College Football Saturday, presented by Phillips Televisions. Colorado with the football for the first time after a great punt by Brian Anger. So now Tyler Hansen will try and get his offense out of trouble. They've got 94 yards to go. They run it to Rodney Stewart, and Stewart gives him a 5-yard gain. Well, Hansen had 7 starts last year, starting the final 7 games, and he wants to make better and faster decisions. Last week against Colorado State, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
One of the things he really worked on in the offseason is the terminology.
Illegal block below the waist. Offense, number 2. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Replay first down.
It's going to make it even tougher. But he wanted to get on the same page with Coach Eric Keesaw, the offensive coordinator, so that they could talk on the field. When they went into the quarterback competition between Cody Hawkins and Tyler Hansen this year, the one thing Cody Hawkins had was the mental part of the game. Tyler Hansen made up for that over the summer and ended up earning the starting spot this year.
They have not started well. A poor decision, fair catch at the 5-yard line. Now after a 5-yard run, a penalty that hurts Colorado. It will be first down and 11. Hansen is a 6'1" junior from Murrieta, California, Chaparral High School. They're going deep. Tony Clemens was there, but terrific coverage from California. It was Josh Hill and Darian Hagan, and Hagan's father was the quarterback for their national championship team back in the 90s.
Yeah, when you say Darian Hagan, you think here's the option quarterback from the Buffs, but no. Darian Hagan all over this play. Great makeup speed to get there in time. Darian Hagan Jr. decided that he wanted to make his own way. He could have gone to Colorado, but decided to come to Cal instead because he wanted to make his own name in the game. His father still coaching for the Buffs.
Their running backs coach, now 2nd and 11. Stewart, nothing. Great defense. That's Mike Mohammed, who's the linebacker. Starting lineups are brought to you by Phillips Televisions, and Nate Solder is an unbelievable freak. 6'9", 315, runs a 4.8, 840. Ryan Miller, the right guard, 6'8", 310. And the backs and receivers, we told you about McKnight. Rodney Stewart, though, is a very good running back, has a chance to go over 1,000 yards rushing this year.
But Nate Solder, he is a quarterback's best friend out there in that left tackle. And you watch him on film, and he is so athletic to go with all those numbers.
They run Stewart on 3rd down, and he is stuffed. Well, they hurt themselves with the fair catch on the punt, and now they'll be punting from the back line. And Cal will have great field position when they bring it back.
Mike Mohammed just been such a great player for this California defense. Always been incredibly smart. Been a guy who's always had his nose around the ball. And Clancy Pendergast told us yesterday, he's a guy that really jumps off the page at you when you look at him. Obviously the Pac-10 tackle leader from last year with 118 tackles.
Zach Grossnickel will punt it to Jeremy Ross. Ross from the 42, and here he goes. Ross to the 20, inside the 20. Fantastic field position for the Golden Bears. Jeremy Ross, an excellent return, and Kevin Riley in control here in the first quarter. Welcome to Pac-10 College Football Saturday, presented by Phillips Televisions. Mike, you can talk about Austin, Texas, Columbus, Ohio, but one of the prettiest college football settings is right here in Berkeley.
No doubt about it. Right inside the bowl is gorgeous. Up the hill is beautiful, but if you look out over San Francisco Bay as well, it is the whole package.
A wow moment. Right now it's Riley, the quarterback, 2 receivers off to the right side. Outstanding field position to start their second drive. Riley to the air, will scramble left, has plenty of time, now tucks it and runs, and gains just a couple. So great coverage by the secondary of Colorado.
Better job of the rush by Colorado because Riley had a receiver, Keenan Allen, running the wheel route on the outside, was completely open in the back corner of the end zone. Riley wasn't able to set his feet and deliver the ball, or that was an easy 6 for the Bears.
2nd down and 8. Marvin Jones goes off to the right side. Kevin to throw, looking for the screen, gets it to Vereen, and Vereen escapes one man and then is bumped out near the 14-yard line. Colorado's defense is better, and once again wanted to talk with you about they will join the Pac-10 no later than 2012. The CU Board of Regents voted 9-0 in favor of the move, as you take a look at the defense again. But Mike, I wanted to talk to you about, do you think Colorado is a better fit for the Pac-10?
I think Colorado is a great fit for the Pac-10. If you look at their roster, about half of their squad comes from California. A lot of these kids grew up around the Pac-10. It's a great location, destination for teams to travel to. I think you get a lot of people traveling into Boulder, so I think it's a perfect fit for the Pac-10.
On 3rd down, Riley to Vereen. Catch is made. Touchdown!
And that is how you execute a back shoulder throw. One of the most effective throws in all of football as a quarterback and receiver. Riley and Vereen and all of his receivers spent so much time in the offseason working on the back shoulder throw. We talked to Coach Tedford yesterday, and he said, these guys have been working on it. Watch, Shane Vereen off of his back shoulder, going up and getting it, putting left foot down. Great throw, great catch, and a great job of Vereen of getting that foot down for the touchdown. That is picture-perfect execution. And if you remember Jeff Tedford, he said we needed to have execution. That is it personified.
In college football, they replay every single play. So let's see. In college, you just need one foot in.
Left foot's down right there. That's a touchdown.
Yep.
That's a touchdown.
And I was watching the side judge make the call, and he was just 5 yards away, and his head was positioned perfectly. Perfect. Referee today is Jack Wood.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
So Jeff Tedford's team goes up 6-0 early, and his man Giorgio Tavecchio will try and make it 7-0 on a beautiful afternoon in Strawberry Canyon.
I talked about Kevin Riley's confidence. How much you think that helps his confidence right there? Being able to spot throw that back shoulder. That's a tough ball to throw because it's all about timing. That spot throw, though, will boost his confidence big time.
Tavecchio makes it 7-0, and it's Riley to Shane Vereen for 13 yards and the early Golden Bear lead. Pac-10 college football Saturday with Colorado and California in the East Bay of Northern California. There is a beautiful look at the city just to the west. And here at Strawberry Canyon, 7-0. California leads the Colorado Buffaloes. The Buffaloes, we told you, will be coming to the Pac-10 either next year or the year after. And right now, they need to get back in this game because they did not make a good decision on a punt return, and also killing a drive with a penalty. The Buffaloes return artist Brian Lockridge. And another penalty flag goes down as Lockridge brings it up past the 20-yard line.
J.P. Harrell in there making a tackle from his back. Nice job of being able to reach up and grab the return man.
During the return, holding number 46 of the return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
This is not starting well for Colorado on the road. They haven't won since October of 2007, and this year really is a win or else year for Dan Hawkins. He is 17-33 in 4+ years at Colorado. Certainly took over in dire straits for Gary Barnett after tremendous success at Boise State, but he has the ultimate challenge this year. Yeah, he quoted Phil Jackson and said, you know, you need those breakthrough moments for that team. And he said maybe this game is it, but this team needs a breakthrough moment to build that momentum for him. Good point. So now they have the football back at the 12-yard line after their first drive started at the 5. It was either movement on the right side of the offensive line or the left end was in the zone.
False start.
Look at this. They are not starting well.
And as an offense, this isn't what you want. We talked to Dan Hawkins yesterday, and again, he came to us with execution. We need to execute. Right now, they are not executing. They're getting penalized. They're taking themselves back. They're taking themselves out of offense. They need to get smooth. They need to get something going. Throw a quick screen, throw some quick passes, get the ball moving a little bit, and find some rhythm early. Only the first quarter, and they already have suffered 4 penalties. Hansen over the middle and a dropped ball. That's Kyle Cephalo, who came from the slot. It's time for a Phillips Television's game break. Let's check in with Darren Horton.
Steve, in the Hawkeye State, it's the 9th-ranked Hawkeyes who strike first versus Iowa State. Ricky Stanzi to Marvin McNutt, a 9-yard touchdown. Right now, 7-0, Iowa on top. And in Norman, number 10, Oklahoma versus number 18, Florida State. DeMarco Murray got the Sooners on the board. Jermaine Thomas answers for the Seminoles. Guys?
Oh, that's one of the big games in college football today. Oklahoma and Florida State, others Miami and Ohio State, and of course Penn State and Alabama. Once again, a mistake made by Colorado, and they are just shooting themselves in the foot, either penalties or drop passes. Tyler Hansen stepping up, delivering the ball to Justin Torres. And Torres just not able to hold on to it. Nice job staying in the pocket. Hansen, a very athletic quarterback, in times past, he would have just taken off running. Instead, he remained a passer,
Torres has to make that catch and get some of those tough yards.
2 drops on this drive. 3rd down, 15 yards to go.
And this is when defenses start to pin their ears back and bring it.
And they're coming on Hansen. They almost sack him. He escapes. And the pass is intercepted. No, it's not. Incomplete. But it went through the arms of Mark Anthony, who would have picked it and had the football inside the 15. Instead, they'll have to punt from deep in their own field position.
You talk about sharks smelling the blood in the water. You back a team up to their goal line. They have a couple of mistakes. All of a sudden, they start to get nervous. That adrenaline goes up. On defense, these guys think they can smell it. I'm going to pin it back. I'm going to start to bring it. This is how momentum builds. And Colorado right now is giving that momentum to California through their mistakes, through their bobbles, dropping passes, and creating these penalties. They need to get on an execution pace. They need to get some rhythm.
And I think California is a team with a chip on their shoulder. For the first time in 5 years, Cal is projected to finish in the bottom half of the Pac-10, even though, Mike, they won 8 games last year and returned 16 starters.
The thing about Cal, though, is they're always better when they do have a chip on their shoulder. When they're predicted higher, they tend to fall off late. But when they have that edge, they're a better football team as the season goes along.
Ross, fair catch at the 47. Again, excellent field position for the Golden Bears. How about the keys to the game for Colorado?
Well, the one big thing is they have to keep a lid on pass coverage. We talked about Keenan Allen. Marvin Jones can go get it too. They have to keep everything underneath them. They have to get pressure on Riley. They have to make him nervous in the pocket. And they have to protect their own QB. We saw in the last down as he started to get nervous, started to shuffle up. He's not as accurate. Tyler Hansen needs to feel comfortable as well in the pocket. But I think here on this series, Jeff Tedford will go for the throat. And Colorado needs to keep that pass coverage over the top.
They're showing a running formation, and then they offset the fullback to the right side. Motion is the true freshman Allen. They run Vereen, and Vereen gets a good gain of about 4 yards inside the 45-yard line. Shane Vereen from Valencia High School, and he and Javid Best were always close. I mean, they were great track stars, and Best outdid Vereen. Then they come here to California. Vereen doesn't play as a true freshman. Javid does.
Yeah, and they just grew together like that, but they were also extremely close friends, good teammates, and they learned and they helped each other. They competed with each other and helped each other grow as well, and it's benefited both these backs.
They run Vereen, and Shane past the 40, near a first down. Needs probably another yard, perhaps 2 for the first down. And we asked Jeff Tedford about Shane Vereen.
He really brings versatility to the offense. He's a guy who can do it all at the tailback position. Can run inside, very strong. He has the speed in the open field to go the distance. Very strong in pass protection, and a great feel for the passing game, be it coming out of the backfield or you can flank him out and he can run receivers or routes as well as receivers can.
When Best went down last year to injury, Vereen came on in the last 4 games, gained 566 yards and scored 6 touchdowns. The swing pass, it's incomplete, so it's 3rd down and short. What's your decision here? You said go for the throw.
Yeah, I expected Jeff to come out and try to go over the top early on. 4th and short is a good time to do it, but you know, you're inside of punt and you're outside of your field goal range. Might as well try to get it.
Tedford, always aggressive, was a terrific quarterback at Fresno State. Offensive coordinator for Mike Bellotti at Oregon. Now at California has really built a power. They're going for it on 4th down. Riley to throw, plenty of time down the middle, incomplete. So a great stand for Colorado, and they finally will start with good field position.
I talked about getting that momentum on offense. Their defense just grabbed it for them against Cal. They moved the field a little bit, so field position counts. Jeff Tedford told us yesterday it's going to be a field position game. They've now moved field position out towards midfield, and they got some momentum with their defense by stopping Cal. Now the offense needs to breathe, take a deep breath, get rid of some of that adrenaline, and execute the things they want to do. Make it simple, pitch and catch, run the football, block. That's what you have to do on offense, is just to execute.
Tyler Hansen, the quarterback. He'll spread 3 receivers to the left side and 2 to the right. 1 in motion. That's McKnight. Swings the pass out. The catch is made and close to a first down. That's Kyle Cefalo, the junior from Boise, Idaho. He played with Cody Hawkins growing up. Mike Mohammed on the tackle.
Cefalo, a nice job getting in and out of his route. He's that H-back tight end receiver type that can kind of move him all over the field. Bigger body. Does a good job getting down. Just a little smash route inside. Drove towards the linebacker. Came back out of the route and made the catch.
Rodney Stewart back in the game, and they'll run him to the left. Look at this guy. He is 5 feet 6 inches tall, 175 pounds. And when we talked to the coaches yesterday, instead of talking about his speed, they talked about his strength.
Yeah, about how strong he is. Mac Brown, coach of Texas, actually said this guy is pound for pound as good as anyone I've seen. He's hard to tackle, incredibly strong, and he has great vision. If you watch him on film, he has the ability just to crack a seam and hit it and find a way to weave his way through. Excellent skills for that tailback position.
They send him to the sideline and spread everyone out. Blitz on, trouble for Hansen. Down he goes. There's California's sprint rush. I mean, they came flying off the edge from Michael Kendricks.
Clancy Pendergrass, former NFL defensive coordinator. You see him bringing too many bodies. I talked about it early on. That time the Bears had too many blue shirts for the white shirts to block. As a quarterback, Tyler Hansen has to see that, and he has to protect himself or get out of a play. But Clancy Pendergrass, excellent coach. First season here at Cal, getting used to that college game again.
3rd and 14. Will they go for Scotty McKnight? Hansen in trouble again, fumbles the football, and Cal has it. Kendricks on the recovery.
And that was against our man, Nate Solder. He was on the outside. He is the one that gave up that sack, something we did not expect to see. Watch the left side of the line. Just couldn't quite get there. And running right around the end. Fantastic job on defense. And that is the way you get to the football.
But look at that guy, Jared Price, 5'11", 213. It was his speed that got by the much taller Solder.
Exactly. You use your secondary, you use your blitz off the outside. He got the corner on him, and even with the great feet of Nate Solder, he's not as quick as the DB.
They run the reverse. Keenan Allen out of bounds near the 25-yard line. They ran Keenan Allen 3 times last week for a total of 38 yards and a touchdown. For a true freshman, you don't give true freshmen these kinds of responsibility unless they are ready.
Yeah, when you talked to Jeff Tedford last week, he said, this is what they look like. When he was talking about receivers, he said, this is what a receiver looks like. He was very mature coming in. He's a football guy. He's, you know, the classic gym rat, but he got it in camp. And you only have to tell him something once, and that's why he's so involved in this offense right now.
2nd and short. They're going to throw it to Marvin Jones, who's out there, gets the first down, and Marvin to the 15-yard line. Tackled by Sandersfield and Perkins.
One other thing about Keenan Allen, unselfish. He was the man out there blocking for Marvin Jones. He's in the slot position. He's going to go up and get his block. So first he makes a play, and now he helps his receiver teammate make a play. That's the kind of unselfishness you need at that wide receiver position. It's an all-around guy, not just about getting the ball, but about playing for his teammates too.
So Fele in the game, and they run EC, and he is tripped up on a fine defensive play by Jaleel Brown. They have strong, physical cornerbacks who both of them, Brown and Smith, play the run.
Yeah, corner blitz coming from that short side. Did a nice job getting underneath the blocker and making the tackle. You see him getting low. Stevens outside trying to get that block, not quite able to get there. And Brown making a nice tackle.
Colorado's defense has done their job, but the offense has really hurt them. Calvin wide left on 2nd down. Riley, this looked like a designed run. He's to the 5. And Kevin Riley is down for a near first down. He needed to get across that 5-yard line. Let's see where they mark him.
Yeah, that was QB draw all the way. Good call, Fizz. He dropped back, eyes downfield, but he wasn't looking for receivers. He was looking for a running lane. 5 quick, and you see all the backs out in front trying to pick up the white jerseys downfield. And a good job of getting what you can and then getting down.
What did Andy Ludwig notice to call that play on 2nd and long?
He knows that Cal has some tendencies to pass down in the red zone like that. They like to run the corner routes. They like to get the backs out of the backfield. So Colorado would be expecting some kind of pass play. When Riley drops back, you get people dropping with depth. It sets them up for people to get blocking lanes on them.
Vereen back inside. Gets what he can. It's only a yard. Tackled by Major, the middle linebacker, and Sapilli, also a middle backer for Colorado.
You know, you talk to coaches all the time about what kind of tendency do they have in the red zone? What kind of tendency do they have 20 and in, 40 and in? What kind of team are they? And you're looking for trends from a team. But you can also use those trends against an opponent. If you know your team's tendencies that you're playing, they tend to throw down there. You turn around and say, oh, we're going to run a quarterback draw, breaking your own tendencies.
They fake to Allen. Riley rolling and throws down the middle. It's Jones for the touchdown.
And that one is just like you draw it up on the chalkboard. Pitch and catch. 2 receivers out in the flat. A follow receiver from the backside. Jones going to come here. Riley looking to the flat first. Jones from the backside. Easy catch. Coverage clears out underneath, chasing those first 2 receivers. And that's why you always have that trailer running through.
I love the creativity. A lot of guys in motion, and they fake the reverse. They throw over the middle, and Marvin Jones, the junior from Fontana, wide open.
Number 40, Giorgio Tavecchio to kick off for California.
I think they're tipping their pitches.
Number 20, Ryan Luckridge, and number 22, Azu Jaffe.
California with a 14-0 lead. 2 touchdown passes by Kevin Riley, who this year has a great number. 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. UC Davis last week, Colorado today.
Yeah, been very efficient so far.
Time of possession 2:53, but Colorado needs a break. They have not made good decisions. They have fumbled the football, and penalties have hurt them. Now they get the football near the 25-yard line.
22, Azu Jaffe. Takes Tavecchio's kickoff.
Our free credit report. Scoring drive. FreeCreditScore.com. 31 yards and 2:53.
Following the return of 26 yards.
Nice play on the recovery of the fumble, of course. The Bears taking advantage of a turnover. Jeff Tedford's teams have been very good with turnovers. They actually run a turnover circuit during the week, every week, where they go through how to hold on to the ball and also how to recover fumbles.
Now, right now, Colorado just needs to make good decisions. They've had breakdowns almost every area of the field in the first quarter. Rodney Stewart, nothing. Tackled by Kendricks. First and 10 line is brought to you by Phillips Televisions. Steve Visiak, Mike Pulaski, and Michael Eaves with you at Memorial Stadium. Beautiful afternoon in Berkeley, California, and right now the Golden Bears looking golden, like they are a top 25 team. Tyler Hansen fumbled on his last possession, and that led the way to a Cal touchdown. Blitz on. Hansen struggling. Down he goes at the 21-yard line. And that's the final play of the first quarter, and it has been a nightmare for the Buffaloes in Berkeley.
3 sacks so far. The Bears are in Colorado's backfield. Tyler Hansen must feel like they're setting up camp.
14-0 California over the Big 12 Colorado Buffaloes. Here is your DirecTV game summary. Vereen and Jones with touchdown catches on throws from Kevin Riley. And Riley's next touchdown pass will equal Aaron Rodgers for 6th in the all-time. Cal List with 43. The gentleman who he was tied with at 7th is sitting right next to me, Mike Pulaski. Each of them had 40. You did it in fewer games, though.
I feel like I'm in good company, though. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, come on, he's out there lighting up the NFL right now.
Hansen back, blitz on, flags all over the place, intercepted by Cal, and here come the Golden Bears trying to get in great field position again. Let's check the penalty, but it looks to go against the offense because it was in holding area. Brian Nabufi with the interception.
But that is defensive rush. I said it as we went to break.
Prior to the interception, holding, offense, number 78. Penalty is declined. First down.
Nate Solder holding, and it still didn't help. Tyler Hansen must feel like he is under siege right now. As a quarterback, this is tough. Pressure coming off the outside. They have a matchup that they like. Putting a linebacker out there against Solder. They're capturing that edge. Jared Price again, who had the big hit last time. Same exact look. Beats Solder to the outside and gets into Hansen's back. And as a quarterback, I don't care how good you are, somebody hanging on your back, you cannot complete passes.
So
that
Riley,
interception, sorry about that. That interception not on Hansen.
Nabufi with the pick. Riley looking to throw downfield. He'll go, and a man wide open. Keenan Allen, incomplete.
That was close. What a great job by the youngster, though, of holding on to the football. A young kid, true freshman, be able to bring that ball down in traffic, somebody in his face. Nice concentration. Riley sees that he wants to take his shot for the end zone. Delivers a nice pass. But Keenan Allen already on his way out. That's one of the things that he will pick up. Some of the education process. Look at film. Remember where the chalk lines are. Stay in bounds.
Vereen, big hole past the 15. They need to get to the 11-yard line for a first down, but Cal has just been knocking in the door since the kickoff. 4 of the 5 Cal possessions started in Colorado territory. The only one that didn't was on the opening kickoff.
Yeah, Colorado's offense has not gotten anything going, and Colorado's defense right now has been trying to pick it up, but it's hard when you're on the field all the time to make that many plays. There you see Coach Collins, defensive coordinator for Colorado. He's trying to figure something out to get a turnover to stop this Cal offense.
Play action. Oh, and that was almost picked off. A dangerous play. And that's John Major, the sophomore middle backer from Parker, Colorado, is really coming on to play well for the Buffs.
Yeah, he played in 6 games last year. This year he actually got his first start against Colorado State as a starter. But he said he wants to be less robotic out there. He was going through his reads, making plays, keying in. He said he wanted to become more smooth, more intuitive, feel the game and flow in the game rather than being robotic. And right there you could see he flowed to the play and almost got an interception.
If he picked it, I don't think they catch him.
Yeah. Maybe one of the fast guys off the outside. I don't know if Majors is a 4-3 type, but he definitely crossed midfield.
Here's Tavecchio. Field goal good. California punishing Colorado early in this game, 17-0. California with a 17-0 lead, and they have been on fire. Riley throwing 2 touchdown passes. Tavecchio with a field goal, and Berkeley, California feeling comfortable. There's Tavecchio. He was born in Italy, raised in Italy, came over to the States, and the first time he kicked off was 3 days after he joined the team. Here comes Colorado. This is Lockridge. He has great speed, gets to the outside, and Brian is cut down near the 28-yard line. It's time for a Phillips Television's game break. Let's check in. A school named after a president beats Virginia Tech. I don't care if you've got James Madison and James Monroe on the same football team. They shouldn't beat Virginia Tech. That's going to hurt Boise State.
I think Boise State wore him out so much that Virginia Tech was depleted coming in.
Let's go down to Michael Eaves.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Here with Colorado Athletic Director Mike Bone. Of course, Colorado and Utah will be joining the Pac-10 here in a couple of years. But before we get to that, Mike, why was the Pac-10 and Colorado such a good fit in your mind?
Well, it has to do with our Western orientation. We have 30,000 alumni in the Pac-12 footprint. We have almost 50,000 more than we had in the Big 12 footprint. So it's a great opportunity for us to engage our alumni. And we also have a large number of students that come to Colorado from that footprint as well.
I got one more question for you, Mike. We'll get to that after the play. Steve?
All right, Michael, as Hansen in shotgun, blitz is on, and Hansen has to throw it away. Take it away, Michael.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Now, you have a chance to join the conference next year or definitely in 2012. There is a situation with the buyout with the Big 12. Where does that stand right now, Michael? What gives you the confidence that you will be competing in the Pac-10 next year?
Well, it's still unresolved, but I have a lot of confidence in Big 12 Commissioner Dan Beebe and obviously Larry Scott from the Pac-12. And between the collective group, I really have a lot of confidence we'll get it resolved.
Well, Mike, on behalf of everyone with the conference, welcome to the Pac-10 and good luck here in the rest of this game today.
Great. Thank you very much.
Steve, Mike Bone, Athletic Director for Colorado.
Well, Mike's the first one I've heard call it the Pac-12. It will be when both Utah and Colorado come in. Hansen throws, catch made, but they don't get the first down. And Michael Eaves will be talking with the commissioner of the Pac-10, soon to be Pac-12, Larry Scott. That will be to start the third quarter. And it is interesting because you look at the Pac-10 conference, all of a sudden, west of the Rockies, you have all the big markets. Denver, Salt Lake City, Phoenix, Los Angeles, Bay Area, Portland, Seattle, all the big cities, Pac-10, soon to be Pac-12 schools.
Absolutely. You capture that full audience, and it's a natural rivalry. I mean, all these kids, like you say, a lot of these kids being recruited from California.
Ross from the 27. Jeremy still on his feet. A flag will be thrown. We'll see who this goes against. Right now, California leading 17-0. I think it's going to be a dynamic future because both schools are coming in, Utah and Colorado, strong athletically, but also outstanding academically.
Yeah, incredibly strong academically as well.
During the run back, illegal block in the back, number 22 of the return team. Penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. First down.
He's going to have to be a guy that's got to be on his game, so a very good player and will be in competition.
Others might be guys like Jared Crick of Nebraska, Adrian Claiborne, Donta Hightower. How about a guy like Mike Muhammad of California, an honors candidate for the Bears, Vontez Burfict of Arizona State. Short gain for Cal. It'll be second and long, but finally Colorado forces the Bears to start with, I guess this would be poor field position.
Well, for what they've had so far this game, this would be poor field position.
So Fele leaves. Vereen back on. And they split out everybody, have no tight end. Colorado's blitzing. Riley throws it just in time, and almost a tremendous catch by Marvin Jones.
As a quarterback, it's great to be able to trust your wide receivers. I talked to Kevin Riley over the summer, and he said he knows that if he throws it out there and Marvin Jones is in the area, either Marvin's going to come down with it or nobody is. And it allows you to make throws like this when you're under pressure, knowing if it's one-on-one, you get that guy the ball, and there's a good chance he's going to catch it. But if he doesn't, you're not going to be in trouble.
Cal has had those receivers in the past, don't have great speed. Jeff MacArthur, a guy for you. Sean Dawkins was great at that. Third down. Wide open is Keenan Allen. First down, and a flag comes down late. It might be a face mask.
It might be helmet to helmet, too. Keenan Allen's helmet came off. I think John Major was out there running with him, trying to get ahead on the play, and they may have knocked heads, which brought it off.
Personal foul. Defense, number 46, targeting. 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. First down.
So you go 29 yards in the catch, 15 more, a 44-yard play, and they're just hurting Colorado.
And that was on Anthony Perkins. I actually tried to put it on John Major. John Major was just running through from that linebacker spot. You see right here, put his head down. When you put your head down and go head-to-head, they're calling that targeting. But a nice job making the catch. Again, another big mistake by Colorado, though. 5 penalties helping them out, helping out the Bears.
From the 26. Riley changing at the line of scrimmage. Marine. Big hole. Shane inside the 15 and has a first down.
Number 34, Shane Marine.
Let's check in with Michael Eaves.
Steve, you and Mike were talking earlier about the competition a couple years ago between Shane Vereen and Javid Best. His competitive nature didn't really set well with him when he had to redshirt his freshman year. But since then, Shane Vereen, as you mentioned, has come on, especially when Javid Best got hurt last year. But what does it mean to be the starting tailback for Cal? Well, consider this. Each starting tailback since 2004 has been drafted by the NFL. J.J. Arrington, Marshawn Lynch, Justin Forsett, and, of course, Javid Best.
And there's one key guy in the middle of that, and that's Ron Gould, their running backs coach. Play action. Riley over the middle, and they've got another first down at the 3-yard line. Keenan Allen.
Just running the double post route by the receivers. Nice job of Riley and Keenan Allen finding the hole between linebackers and delivering a pass. But Ron Gould, as you mentioned, such a key to these running backs' development and recruiting. But he does such a great job coaching these guys up every day. He is the quintessential coach. He is there for them. He is hard on them, but he loves them up too. He is the guy that you want coaching your kids at this level.
Right now, Ron watching his back. Shane Vereen, who gets the ball and the carry, and he gets the touchdown. Shane Vereen, his second touchdown of the day.
And that's one thing that I always thought Shane Vereen was better at than Javid Best, and that is being a downhill runner. Javid was explosive, boy. He was exciting. He'd get out there and run. But Shane Vereen picks a lane, hits a hole. He'll make you miss. He'll stick a foot in the ground and make you miss. And he has the ability to cut back, but he's going to get north and south in a hurry, and he gets low. Good leverage.
Tavecchio hammers it through, and it is a blowout in the first half. California looking like a top 25 team. They have a 24-0 lead on the Colorado Buffaloes. Here in Berkeley, California, Golden Bears running away with a 24-0 lead and still 10.5 minutes left. Shane Vereen already with 5 touchdowns this year.
Been fantastic today. You look at him, 10 rushes, 44 yards, and a touchdown. He is just a great downhill runner. He's also excellent at catching the ball. He's good out of the backfield, too.
Pac-10 has a lot of good running backs. Chris Polk up at Washington. So you take a look at the total yards. Oh, my gosh, 152. And Colorado, because of the sacks, -1 offensively. They'll get it again. Tavecchio hammers this one to the goal line. It is Lockridge at the 1. Bryan down the side, cut down at the 40-yard line, and that's a touchdown-saving tackle.
Number 20, Brian Lockridge, and Giorgio Tavecchio's kickoff to the zone 1-yard line.
Mark Anthony on the tackle, and there is Tyler Hansen. Hasn't had much of an opportunity to set himself in the pocket.
You look at his numbers right now, 2 for 8 for 23 yards, but he's playing in a minefield, and he doesn't know where the next bomb's going to go off. 9 quarterback pressures, 3 sacks, which led to an interception. It is tough to play confidently as a quarterback if you have those kind of numbers, those kinds of players coming at you.
He has not thrown the ball once to Scotty McKnight. Throws it to Tony Clemens, but there's a swarm there, and a short gain on the play. I think the Pac-10 will be an underrated conference this year. They were not strong last year because they were so young. This year, 65% of the starters come back in the league. When you go look at Cal, I saw Cal's talent and I go, they're picked 7th in the Pac-10? This is a better football team than that.
A much better football team, but then you have to look around the Pac-10 and you've got a lot of teams that are underratable. You know, you look at talent and you think, wow, they're really talented, but what do we see out of them? What have we seen out of them? The Pac-10 is a very talented conference this year. They just haven't stepped up yet. These teams haven't shown up and shown that they're going to be top contenders.
Let's go to Michael Eaves.
Well, guys, this may be one of the best debuts for a Cal defensive coordinator in the program's history. Clancy Pendergast, who's a former defensive coordinator in the NFL, as you guys mentioned earlier, with the Cardinals as well as the Chiefs, sort of got into this job based on a very persistent sister who used to work for Cal, then worked at a hotel in Arizona where the Pac-10 meetings were held. She would always remind Jeff Tedford that her brother was a defensive coach, and when Tedford needed a guy this year, who did he find? Clancy Pendergast.
Yeah, he said he was checking out the mug shots of all of the NFL coaches and college football coaches, like who would be the best coordinator to fit our program, and he saw Clancy and he said, yeah, I remember his sister talking about him, and here's a guy in 2008, just a couple of years ago, helped lead Arizona, the Cardinals, to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely, and that NFL resume brings credibility as well. He's a great fit here. He's a pressure guy, and that's the kind of defense that Coach Tedford likes. But the NFL name brings credibility. When you talk to players, you say, hey, this is what they want at the next level. Kids' ears tend to perk up, and they go, okay, that's what they want. I'm going to do it, and it brings a whole new level of competition to their game.
Their defenses look really strong early. Stewart cutting back, short gain. He slipped the tackle first from Mohammed, but swarming was DJ Holt. There is Mike Mohammed. He likes this Pendergast defense as well because he said it allows us to be more aggressive on where they place him. 5 yards off the line where he can make a lot of tackles?
He can make a lot of tackles. He can make a lot of plays in pass coverage, and they're going to bring him as well. So they're going to mix it up. There's a lot of different looks, a lot of different ways to bring pressure out of an offense. 2nd and 5,
ball tipped. 3rd down and 5.
I believe it was DeAndre Coleman, but he and Kendrick Payne were both in there pressing. One of them got their big paw up there. As a pass rusher, especially in the middle, if you can't get the sack, if you can't get the hit on the quarterback, your key is to disrupt the lane and get your hand up.
An extra tight end comes in for Colorado. That's Luke Walters, the senior from Lakewood, Colorado. And a flag is thrown. Too much time.
Illegal substitution.
Illegal substitution.
5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
My goodness, they have hurt themselves. Dan Hawkins. This guy was a fantastic coach at Boise State. 3 11-win years, but he told us yesterday he never realized at the time how difficult it was going to be to bring a winner to Boulder.
Exactly. He said one of the things that he had to get was the kids to buy in, to believe, and to be able to subordinate their ego to the team's better good. Once you get that, once you can find that on a team, you've really got something going. But it's been a battle for him over the last couple of years to try to get his teams, his players, to do that.
They still can't get it together. They have to burn a timeout, already trailing 24-0 and making so many mistakes. But Coach Hawkins said toughness, unselfishness, dedication, those are the 3 ingredients for leadership, and that's what they're seeking. Right now, they are getting humiliated in Berkeley, California, trailing 24-0. Thank you very much, Darren. I'm really interested in that Miami-Ohio State game. Ja'Cory Harris, Terrell Pryor, 2 of the outstanding quarterbacks in college football. Right now, we've got Hansen on a 3rd and 10, swinging it right, completing it for the 1st down. A big play, the biggest of the day for Clemens, and he is out of bounds, but still a huge 1st down on 3rd and 10 for the Buffaloes.
Absolutely needed that. Nice job of Tyler Hansen to get that ball out there. Again, just a little half roll right, max protect from behind, and try to get the ball in the hands of the athletes. Move the chains. The Bears have found so many different ways to come at Hansen. You need to move the pocket sometimes, get him out of the rush, let him feel comfortable on the move.
They wanted to collapse that pocket. Now Stewart up the middle for a gain of 4. They almost fumbled that exchange.
Yeah, a little bobbled snap there. Tyler Hansen didn't get the shotgun snap cleanly and almost didn't get it into Stewart. But a good job of the little back. We keep talking, it's kind of cliched. Little backs kind of get hidden behind the line of scrimmage. But guys like Stewart, guys like Quiz, they get in there. Little guy get hidden in behind the line of scrimmage, and they can burst through for 3 or 4 yards.
1st and 10 line is brought to you by Phillips Televisions. Buffaloes need 6 for a first down. Blitz on from the middle. They throw it over the middle, and it's close to a first down as the catch made. And the tackle by Michael Kendricks. Patterson, they transfer from USC, and because USC was placed on probation, Trayvon Patterson was allowed to transfer immediately and be eligible.
Exactly, without having to sit out. Talking to Eric Kiesau, the offensive coordinator for Colorado, he said, we thought we did really good in free agency this year.
They got Clemens, they got Patterson.
They also picked up Richardson, a young receiver out of Los Angeles, had some off-field issues with UCLA, was going to go to UCLA, ended up with Colorado.
Up the middle, Stewart. That's a first down. This guy, even though he's 5'6", 175, I took a look at the numbers on 3rd down and 1. In his career, he is 10 for 11. You have 3rd and 1.5. Yeah. And once again, he gets the first down.
You know, I compare him to Quiz. He's good. He gets low, great pad level. And when you have somebody that has that kind of leverage and is strong as well, it's hard to stop him from getting that 1 yard. He'll get underneath your pad level and drive you to pick up those chains.
Was barely recruited. I mean, Eastern Michigan recruited him as a walk-on. They asked him to walk on, and here he is starting at Colorado since his freshman year. Here is Dan Hawkins on Rodney Stewart.
Rodney's a powerful little dude. He's got amazing quicks. He's played against some great teams around the country. Played as a true freshman. Huge heart, but I mean, he can just make a lot of guys miss. It's very hard for one guy to get him down in the open field.
Now Stewart on the sideline, and they give the football. No, it's a play-action pass. They throw over the middle, and it's almost intercepted.
DJ Holt underneath the play. Ill-advised pass by Tyler Hansen out there.
Pass was broken up by DJ Holt of the Bears.
See the route coming across right here. Holt in coverage. He was in better position to catch the ball than the receiver, and Tyler Hansen just decided where he was going to go with it early on. Good thing Ryan Dean was in there to break it up, or else Tyler Hansen would have had a second pick on the day.
Once again, they haven't thrown to Scotty McKnight yet. They'll run Stewart, and Stewart up the middle for a good gain inside the 10-yard line. They are trailing 24-0. You know, Coach Hawkins was talking about Rodney Stewart. This is a guy who has the 2nd most rushing yards for a CU player entering his junior year, 1,426. And Eric Bieniemy is the only guy in front of him. Bieniemy was part of that national championship team.
Bieniemy was amazing, as you can remember, there and from the NFL. But they, like you said, they almost didn't find him. At a linebacker, Doug Rippey, had to tell running backs coach Darian Hagan about him. Then they looked at film and said, hey, you know what? This kid's pretty good. Let's bring him in.
Now on 3rd down. Hansen to the right, wide open. That looks like they got the first down. He caught it near the 3-yard line, then was pushed back by Mark Anthony, and that's Luke Walters, the tight end. They do get the first down, so it'll be 1st and goal.
Just a shoot by your tight end to the flat. Nobody there to cover him. Luke Walters doing a nice job. The senior out of Lakewood, Colorado, has overcome some adversity in the course of his history here. This is his 6th year, actually. He had a stress fracture in his lower leg. He had a couple surgeries. He had a collapsed lung, but he decided it was worth it to keep coming back and playing.
On the 14th play of the drive, Stewart slips. Where will they mark it? Because his hand went down. I don't think his knee went down. Are they going to mark it at the 5? They say his knee did go down at the 5-yard line. I saw him slip, but wasn't sure if he caught himself.
You know, a couple of the players for Colorado have slipped out there on this turf today. He just caught a toe. Yeah, his knee is down right there. So that ball should be right around 5. Good mark by the official.
Crowd in that end zone causing some problems for the Colorado offense. Hansen with time. dumps it off to his fullback, and driving towards the end zone is Matt Barr. This is a 6'4", 290-pound junior from Dove Canyon, California, usually a blocking back, but Hansen just needed some relief when all of a sudden the pressure came from inside.
I think that was a design screen, design throwback to the backside. You watch Hansen, he'll work this way, look this way, and then he turns. It's a late release by his tight end. Nobody over there for the Bears. Good job to get up and make the tackle by Holt. If not, Barr gets in the end zone. But as you said, 6'4", 290. That's a load out there at that tight end position.
3rd down and goal. Stewart, left side, stop. A flag is down as well. It looks like a Colorado Buffalo is down.
Barr is down as well.
Run out of bounds by Darian Hagan of the Bears.
Another mistake. How many penalties is that now? That is 7 penalties for Colorado in just the first half.
And penalties were one of the big issues for this team last year in the bottom of the NC2A. Last week they had 10 penalties for 104 yards. But playing a better opponent this week in Cal, you're not going to get away with that and win.
Chop block. Offense, number 73. 15-yard penalty. Replay. 3rd down.
So they call Miller for a chop block, and basically what that means is you have one of your offensive people engaged with a defensive player, and then somebody comes from the backside and hits below the waist on the block.
Barr
Not
is
legal
all
because
right.
it's unsafe.
Here's a look at his ankle rolling.
43 right out in front here.
Yeah, right there. Ouch.
Ah, not good.
Colorado hurting themselves. They have 62 yards total offense. They have 62 yards in penalties. 15 yards pushes them back near the 18. Pressure showing from the right side, and it comes. There is a flag down, as I'm not sure if there's movement on the offensive side or someone was in the neutral zone.
David Bakhtiari, the right tackle, kicked out just a step too early.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty.
Oh, they got it on Solder.
Down.
Now 8 penalties. That's just not going to get it done, and that man cannot be happy with his squad right now. This is also, I told you earlier, Cal's bringing the heat, and if you start to give them these gimmies, the penalties, the bad plays, then they feel that momentum, and you start to get more nervous on offense, and you create more of these penalties, the silly penalties. Right now, the Bears are rolling. They're feeling it, and Colorado is as tight as can be.
Pressure from the right side and the blitz. Hansen is spun down at the 25. And California just playing great football. 4th sack of the day. Kendrick and Owusu on top of number 9.
And surprisingly, they keep going after Nate Solder. See Kendrick getting upfield and coming underneath. We talked about this during a break. They've beat him twice over the top with a linebacker on the outside. I knew they were going to try the inside move, the underneath swim, and Kendrick did it perfectly.
42-yard field goal attempt by Goodman on the way. It is no good, and the nightmare continues.
Sunny as it can be, but when it rains, it pours for Colorado.
They beat Colorado State strong fashion last week by a score of 24-3. They came to California thinking confidence, but it's been all California, particularly on the defensive side of the ball.
Linebackers in the backfield. Blue shirts in your quarterback's chest. Not a comfortable way to throw for Tyler Hansen. I believe that short clipping is called Under Siege.
They fumble the snap. Riley will keep it and lose a couple of yards. They have just 2 minutes remaining before the half ends, but California has played terrific football. They have Shane Vereen with a pair of touchdowns. So Colorado has a 17-play drive. that covers only 35 yards, and they come up with no points.
Painful.
1st and 10 line is brought to you by Phillips Televisions. Steve Fiziak with Mike Pulaski and Michael Eaves in the sideline in Berkeley, California. Golden Bears given golden opportunities by the Buffaloes throughout the first half.
Well, we always hear coaches talk about execution, execution, execution. Right now, Colorado's offense is executing itself.
Right you are. And California has a very good staff. You know, Jeff Tedford, we've known him for years. And this guy is a workaholic. He has a mattress in his office here in the Cal campus, and he demands perfection from his coaching staff as well. And that's why they've been successful every single year he has been on this campus.
Eric Keesaw said, when you think of what a perfectionist is, Jeff Tedford is one step above that.
They'll run Shane Vereen, and Colorado is all over him for a loss in the play. It'll make it 3rd down and long. Darren Horton is standing by at our College Football Saturday studios, and of course he'll be updating us on all the scores from around the game, including 3 big ones today: Florida State and Oklahoma, Miami and Ohio State, Penn State and Alabama. We've got a good game later today, and that will be USC taking on Virginia. See if the Trojan defense can play a little bit better this week. There was one huge upset, and that was Virginia Tech losing to James Madison earlier today.
That Michigan-Notre Dame game also very interesting today.
And Oklahoma has a 14-7 lead over Florida State. That's Oklahoma, and they came in ranked 10th. Florida State ranked 18th. Another good one I think everybody's talking about, Michigan and Notre Dame.
Yeah,
Brian Kelly's a good coach.
Oh, he's good. We got to see him last year when he was at Cincinnati. He will make you believe. He was in politics before, and he will make you believe. He can sell you on a program.
We have an update on that Oklahoma score. They're up by 20 over Florida State now, 27-7. And Michigan leading Notre Dame 14-7. Here it's 24-0. Riley. There's that bubble screen, and Allen cut down, and Colorado sniffs it out. They still have time with 1:53. Let's see. Colorado out of timeouts. So they'll get it back with about a minute left on the clock, and they need to go for it. They at least need to work on their.
They need something.
On their 2-minute drill.
I think they'd be okay just saying they need something, Fizz, because they need to get some momentum, build a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, I don't think this is a time where you say, hey, let's go to one knee and talk about it in the locker room.
Oh, no. This is not a chat session. This is about hard-nosed, tough guy football. Execute your stuff. So far, they haven't done that. And last year, you know, this is one of the things. They got late starts. They were talk at times. They said, oh, you know, they were down 20 points before you even knew the whistle blew, before they even knew the game had started. You don't want to see that coming back again this year for Colorado. They need to stop the bleeding right now and execute on the offensive side of the ball.
We talked to Dan Hawkins yesterday, and we said, what are your keys for success against California? And a lot of times coaches will talk about particulars, but he said, we need to go for the throat.
Yeah.
Well, this is a go for the throat time.
He wants to see his offense develop a go for the throat mentality. You know, you think about defenses, they're born with that. They're always going for it because they're aggressive. They're trying to hit, they're trying to tackle, they're trying to strip. But when you get an offense that has that go for the throat mentality, that is a good football team. You believe you're going to win on offense. I kind of joke back to my playing days when we were going to go play in the Citrus Bowl, and Kent Bear, who's a good defensive coordinator for us, Coach Snyder used to talk about what do you have to pack when you go on the road, and defense was one of them. And I always used to say, hey, Coach Bear, you know why you got to pack your defense when we go on the road? And I always told him, it's because our offense can carry you easier that way. And we had a very good defense. But that's the mentality you're looking for in an offense. Go for the throat, quick kill, be aggressive, tough guys.
Trayvon Patterson standing at his 35-yard line. Anger hammers it. Boy, he's got some kind of leg, but it will allow for the return by Trayvon. But Cal, much like they've done all afternoon, long. They've done everything well. They have a 24-0 lead. A reminder to our fans, stay with us, because to start the second half, we'll have an interview with Pac-10 Commissioner Larry Scott. Colorado obviously coming into the league either next year or 2012, so that will indeed be a good story. Ryan Anger with a 57-yard punt. Great coverage by
And as
Cal.
you point out, a 57-yard punt usually allows some room for a return. But new special teams coordinator Jeff Jenick for Cal has his guys running down in their lanes. They stayed home. And Trayvon Patterson didn't have anywhere to go. He kind of danced, but then just got tackled.
What do they call it? Gap integrity, staying in your lane.
That's it.
Hansen stepping up, has to scramble. He gets a nice gain, but once again, they're out of timeouts, so they'll have to hurry up their offense. Terrific coverage. They had Clemens going deep. They also had Trayvon Patterson going deep, and both well covered by Hagan and Anthony. The nickel package in for Cal defensively. Four-man rush. Hansen completes it to Clemens for a first down.
Replay officials are going to be looking closely at that one. It looked like Clemens may have scooped that. If not, he did a nice job getting his hands underneath it. But the nice thing about running 2 minutes is it can keep the defense from dialing up a lot of different blitzes.
He needs to get it downfield. He dumps it off. It's intercepted, and California is going to go. It's Mike Mohammed. Touchdown!
And it just went from bad to worse for Colorado. 11 seconds left on the clock. Tyler Hansen switches to a left-handed throw under pressure. A little too hard, a little too high over the middle, and we talked about it earlier. Mike Mohammed said he likes the new defense because he can make plays in space. That's what he's talking about.
You can't throw a Jamie Moyer changeup against the California defense.
Not into the heart of it, my goodness. Somebody's going to make that play. And Mike Mohammed was great. He didn't just have a lot of tackles last year. He also had 3 interceptions, so a very good football player at that linebacker spot.
They're reviewing to see whether he got in at the very end. This is Mike Mohammed, one of the terrific linebackers in college football.
Oh, he got in. He just has to cross the plane. He did a nice job of reaching across the pylon, inside the pylon, across that goal line. I say that's a touchdown from that angle. We need that goal line angle to see for sure.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Yeah, that's touchdown. Smart player. He not only knows where to be and how to make the interception, but he also knows get the ball inside the pylon for the touchdown. He knows it on every side of the ball. Look how happy he is right now.
Clancy Pendergast loves him. He said he's smart, he's dependable. We're going to put him in a position to make plays, and with that great wingspan, they expected him to make plays, and that wingspan was able to get there, pick the pass off, and take it in. And we are still a month and a half away from Halloween, but it's a nightmare on Telegraph Avenue for Colorado.
Scary. Very, very scary. Right now, the Bears are basically having it their way. Offense, defense, and special teams.
Did you see the Italian flag in there for Tavecchio?
Tavecchio. Watch Hansen moving out of the pocket. Nice job giving himself some time, but then too hard, too high, left-handed. And over the middle, that is a dangerous pass. And Mohammed just doing what he does. He's just a great leader on that defense. In position, making plays. He made plays all last year.
It was interesting talking to Clancy Pendergast because he's putting him in a position that makes him more valuable. He talked about his wingspan, so he switched positions. Could you explain that?
He moved him into that middle linebacker spot from the 3-4. He was an outside backer last year. Now he's letting him get into pass coverage more, dropping him more. As they create pressure with the rush up front, Mohammed, as a bigger guy, takes up more space. And so it's harder for quarterbacks to throw over the top of him or around him. The longer you are, your arms are, the taller you are, the harder it makes for quarterback to throw those pinpoint passes. You can see right there, in pass coverage, Mohammed was in perfect position.
Bobbled by Lockridge, picks it up. And there's California. Man, they played well. Oh, what a fantastic defensive play by Terrence Montgomery.
They play well, they play fast.
C.J. Moncrief was the player. There's 2 number 8s for California.
Cal has as many double numbers as any team that I've seen. You go down their list, and it's just double 2s, double 8s, double 5s. I mean, they got double numbers everywhere.
Davis, a team that's picked to finish second in the Great West last week. They beat them 52-3. There's a flag down, and my goodness, is that 9 penalties now? 9 penalties for Colorado. Jack Wood comes to the sideline.
Personal foul, defense, number 47, hands to the face. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. We will extend for 1 untimed down.
So I beg your pardon, it was not against Colorado. A rare mistake by California. It was Keith Browner with hands to the face.
He just got caught. Those defensive linemen and backers, whenever they're rushing, they get those hands up there around the face all the time. So that's a good way to control a guy, Fizz. You get your hands up there, you can control his head. You control the head, you control the player.
From the 32.
Fully illegal, but a good way to control somebody.
Stewart spins across the 40-yard line. Good game, but that will end the first half, and it's all California. Offense, defense. Kevin Riley, excellent. Mike Mohammed played like an All-American with an interception return for a touchdown. California with a 31-0 lead over the Colorado Buffaloes. Right now, let's go to our Los Angeles studio for the Geico halftime show with Darren Horton.
Halftime in Berkeley, Shane Vereen with a big first half for the Cal Bears. A touchdown receiving, also this one on the ground. 31-0. The Bears completely dominated. Again at halftime in Berkeley, California, where the University of California Marching Band, a.k.a. the Cal Band, on the field. 31-zip California on play. With time, we recognize Cal linebacker Mike Mohammed. The business major carries a 3.4, preparing for a future in real estate. He's got How You Like Me Now pumping on the iPod, and who doesn't like Lucky Charms? More highlights coming up after the break. Halftime in Berkeley, where it's been a complete domination by the Cal Bears. The defense making big plays. We just told you about Mike Mohammed's brains. Well, the guy can play as well. The pick six, 41 yards, 31-zip. Again, our team, Virginia Tech, 21-16. Larry Scott going to join our crew in the second half. We'll get you back to Berkeley, 31-0.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium here in Berkeley, where California is leading Colorado 31-0 here at the halftime. Michael Lee's on the field here, joined now by the commissioner of the Pac-10, soon to be Pac-12, Larry Scott. And Larry, we spoke to Mike Bone, athletics director for Colorado, earlier. He talked about why it was such a good fit for his institution to join this conference. But from your standpoint, why was it so beneficial for the Pac-10 to expand to 2 teams, and why Colorado and Utah?
Well, we were looking to get to at least 12. We want to be on par with some of our peer conferences across the country, get to be able to have a football championship game, and to expand beyond the 4-state footprint that we had. We wanted to get to 6 states. Colorado is of that academic prestige and reputation, on par with Pac-10 schools. Obviously got a broad-based commitment to sports programs, not just football and basketball, but across the board. And, great media market, Denver. So they really tick the boxes in a lot of respects.
Now, Utah is ready to go for next year. Colorado has a buyout situation with the Big 12 right now. How confident are you that Colorado will be able to compete in the conference next season?
Not confident right now. I had a chance to meet with the chancellor this morning and the athletic director, and it sounds like they're pretty far away. So we're planning on them coming in 2012. So we'll have Utah in 2011 be an 11-team conference, and then in 2012 get to 12 teams. If something happens earlier, we'll react, we'll adjust. It would be great, but it sounds like the party's pretty far apart right now.
Real quickly, you talk about a championship game. That means you're going to have 2 divisions. With the alignment, will it be based on geographics, and do you have an idea of what it's going to be already, and when will you release that information?
We've narrowed it down from about 100 different options to about half a dozen right now. We'll make a decision in October. The way the Pac-10's laid out with natural rivals in each state, in each market in California, we can do things geographically that would make a lot of sense, or we might split the rivals. But basically, we've got pairs of rivals up and down the coast, so we've got a bunch of different options. We're narrowing them down. I don't expect a decision until end of October.
Well, Larry, we definitely appreciate the time as always, and congratulations on all your work to expand this conference to 12 teams.
Thanks. Having a lot of fun with it.
Commissioner Larry Scott, guys.
Michael Eaves, thank you very much. And you take a look at both Utah and Colorado coming in. So many California or Western kids on their rosters. And I was looking at the Colorado section today. They have over 7,000 fans here, and it kind of gives you an indication that Colorado is such a good fit for this conference.
Yeah, such a great fit and such a dynamic move by Larry Scott to do what he's doing with the Pac-10. I mean, he's building brand equity. He's improving the footprint of the conference. It's just looking up for the Pac-10, soon to be the Pac-12. I just think fantastic additions this year for the commissioner.
They need to up their level to get into California's range, because we thought this would be a good football game, but Colorado made too many mistakes, and a guy like Shane Vereen, what a back.
Wow, Shane Vereen has been impressive for years now. This game, 11 rushes, 41 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. You see 2 receptions as well, and a touchdown, the back shoulder throw. But he can do so many things. He's a great runner, has great balance. He can get vertical, north and south. You can put him in the pass route. This is that back shoulder throw that I was talking about. And he can hit the hole straight downhill and take people on. Physical, fast, tough, and he can catch. He is the all-around back. He has been fantastic today. And you look at the stats for this game. Not a huge blaring anywhere except for in rush yards. You look at Colorado, 13 rushing yards. And then, of course, Cal's defense has been so very good. The turnovers, 3 turnovers for Colorado, 0 for Cal. You win a turnover battle like that, and you're going to win a game. And again, 8 penalties, not good in the first half.
So many mistakes by Colorado in the first half, and that young man, Shane Vereen and Kevin Riley. Right now, Vereen has scored 5 touchdowns, and Kevin Riley has thrown for 5 touchdowns this year without an interception. And the way their defense played, they are going to be tough this year. We're ready for the second half, and here we go. It'll be Brian Lockridge. He had a couple of good returns in the first half, and this one's a healthy one out past the 30-yard line. Steve Physiok with Mike Pulaski on the sideline with Michael Eaves as we get ready for the second half. There's Tyler Hansen, who will get the call. Remember, the coach's son, Dan Hawkins' son, Cody, has started a lot in his career. He's a senior from Boise and could take over if Hansen continues to struggle like he did in the first half.
He could, but if you're a father, would you be worried about throwing your son into the fire like that? Because Hansen has been under pressure all game long. It's not, these numbers aren't his fault. Being hit, the offensive line needs to give him a little support.
Well, the offensive line doesn't give him support that time as Stewart goes down quickly. They average less than a yard per carry rushing in the first half. DJ Holt on the tackle. They have not thrown one ball even in the direction of Scotty McKnight.
And he is their #1 guy. Surprising, but again, with so much pressure, it may be hard to get to him through his reads.
2nd and 10. Blitz on. They complete the pass. This time it's to Will Jefferson, a sophomore from Moreno Valley, California.
This offense just trying to find a way to get something going. One of the keys to an offense is to at least establish one aspect of your game. Establish the run, establish the pass, and then build off that with something else. So far, they've been inconsistent and unable to establish either run or pass.
They have 2 tight ends in. Richardson goes motion. They give the football to Stewart, and Stewart with a 3rd and 1. We told you he is better than 90% getting a first down on 3rd and 1s in last year. Kendrick Payne on the tackle. He does get the first down.
Hard-nosed runner inside. Again, pad level, finding a way to make people miss, and just getting those tough yards key, especially for such a small back.
There is Scotty McKnight back in the game as the slot receiver. They're looking for McKnight over the middle, and that's his first catch of the game, and he is up near a first down, near midfield, as the tackle was made by Mark Anthony, and Anthony's slow in getting up.
He was on the backside, and so many times when you have a defender coming from the front and a defender in trail, as that receiver gets down, the defender behind in trail takes the punishment, and you see these guys get whacked pretty good. Nice job of Scotty McKnight. We talked about his kinesthetic awareness. He knows how to use his body to create space, to get open, and to cut defenders off. He also knows how to get down, how to keep from getting hit, how to keep from getting hurt. That time he got down underneath the hit, and I think Mark Anthony ended up taking the majority of it.
He said even when he was in Pop Warner football, as we had a conversation with Scotty McKnight last night, and he said, you know, I was always the smallest guy on the field, so I had to play better than everybody else. I had to study the game and study the angles to take as a wide receiver.
But he loves playing with that chip on his shoulder. He loves playing with something to prove. Told us that that's his nature now. He wants to go out there and prove everybody wrong.
Second down 2. Stewart tries to get outside. He escapes. Is near a first down, near the 48-yard line. We asked Scotty McKnight about the chip on his shoulder.
You know, I've always kind of played with the chip to try and to prove people wrong, and I've always believed that I can do it. No matter what the level was, I've always thought I can do this thing, and I've always been I've been a smart football player since I was a little kid, and I've always been productive. So I've always carried that confidence every time I've stepped up to a new level and just realized, hey, I can do this thing, and you know, I try to outwork guys in any way I can.
He was a fine player at Tesoro High School, but had to walk on at Colorado. The rest is history. The record setter. And here is Stewart spinning around, and he's got another first down. He's a really dear friend, is Mark Sanchez, who plays for the Jets. And Mark Sanchez said he is the Wes Welker of college football.
And Scotty McKnight loved that comparison. We talked to Eric Keesaw yesterday, offensive coordinator of Colorado, and he said, this guy's like a son to me. We're so close. He's exactly the kind of player you want. No matter what he does in life, he's going to be successful. And as soon as he walked into the room, you can feel that energy from him. He just has such charisma. You can understand how he could be such a great leader and such a great player.
Stewart, again, a gap there provided by his offensive tackle, Nate Solder, who goes 6'9", 315. So all of a sudden, it looks like Dan Hawkins was able to go to the locker room, probably scold the kids and say, fellas, we've got to execute. Stop shooting ourselves in the foot with the penalties.
Yeah, there was probably a pretty good chewing out going in the locker room, and then said, refocus. You can't do anything about that first half. Those 31 points are gone. But on offense, let's execute. Let's get something done. Let's play our game.
And they're running the ball much better. Stewart again, the call to carry near the 31. They need to get to the 30 for a first down. They mark him shy of the 31. Mike Mohammed on the tackle. Let's go to Michael Eaves.
Yeah, guys, no real shock what Dan Hawkins told his team at the half. Basically what you guys were talking about, execute. Stop the penalties, stop the turnovers, and just get some positive flow going. He also told the guys, calm down. He thought they may be a little too hyped up, playing a big environment, maybe some nerves were into play. He just wants to get something positive going to start this third quarter.
It goes all the way back to a fair catch at the 5-yard line and then a penalty on the next play. Stewart gets the first down. And Rodney has been outstanding on this drive.
The thing is, Colorado has the tools.
Yeah.
I mean, we look across that line. Nate Solder's very good. Miller's very good. You look in the backfield, obviously Stewart, a very good player. Tyler Hansen, given time, is a very good quarterback. He's accurate, good arm strength, good foot speed. Scotty McKnight out there. Trayvon Patterson out there. Clemens out there. So they've got the tools. They just need to be able to take that deep breath, breathe in, and let it out, and then play football, because that's what you're here to do. Have fun and play football.
Stewart getting a lot of action on this drive, and he hammers his way off the right side for a short gain, because when you think of it, Boulder is an absolutely breathtaking area, remarkable campus, outstanding academic institution.
Yeah. there's no reason that Colorado shouldn't be able to win in the end run. Now, certain coaches do things certain ways, but you should be able to recruit to Colorado. You should be able to bring in good players. You're close enough to a lot of good places. California kids will come. Texas kids will come. There's a lot of good players in Colorado. You just have to get the formula right and get these kids to play hard.
It's hard to believe that it was 20 years ago when Colorado won the national championship. Here's Hansen going deep. And he had Richardson out there, but it's incomplete. No flags. As a matter of fact, when they take on Georgia in a couple of weeks, they will celebrate the 20th anniversary of their national championship with Bill McCartney as their football coach. That was the year that Colorado went 11-1-1, and Darian Hagan, who's now the running backs coach, was the quarterback for that football team. And Eric Bieniemy ran for 1,600 yards. But that's what you're talking about. They had great plays. Greg Biekert, Alfred Williams.
And they did it while they were playing what was considered the toughest schedule in the nation as well. Wins over Texas, Washington, Oklahoma, and Nebraska. So that's proven itself as a national champion.
5th sack by California. It's Cameron Jordan.
It's just so hard as a quarterback to get comfortable in the pocket when you are constantly getting hit. Ernest Owusu chasing Hansen up in the pocket, and Cameron Jordan there to finish it off. The Bears defensive line deserves credit today. Not just the defensive line, but the whole defensive scheme. Bringing linebackers, because remember Price came in as well. They are bringing heat. They're bringing it from places that Colorado hasn't seen, and they're getting home.
Grossnickel with the punt. And it will be at the 20-yard line because it goes through the end zone. So California will start their offense at their own 20-yard line. Here's the Cal defense with 5 sacks this time. All-American candidate Cameron Jordan coming off the edge. You cannot ask for a prettier day in the East Bay of Northern California as California has a 31-0 lead over Colorado. Colorado will be coming to the Pac-10 next year or the year after. And you can see California, what they've done when they score more than 30. They're pretty good. They run to the left, not much there. Shane Vereen had over 40 yards rushing in the first half. John Major on the tackle. No gain here. 2nd and 10.
Sometimes the team you go in with a big lead to halftime, you get a little bit of that kind of halftime lull coming back out. This is the time when championship teams prove what type of nature they have. This is when competitive teams come back out and step on the gas again. That's that killer instinct we talked about for an offense.
They run the football. Vereen for about a 6-yard gain. And Jeff Tedford said he was really pleased about that last week. Even though they had a big lead at halftime, they stayed focused. They had great intensity and passion that they played with in the second half.
Exactly. He said you never know about your team. You never know what kind of team you have, the maturity level, their ability to focus. You don't know what they are until you get to see them compete in their first game. He said, so far, I like this team a lot, as much as any team I've ever coached, because of the way they work, their makeup, and the fact that they stay competitive even in the blowout of last week.
And the young men we talked to yesterday, Mike Mohammed and Kevin Riley, both talked about their teammates. They rarely talked about themselves, as this pass is incomplete on 3rd down. So Cal will have to punt it away, leading 31-0.
Riley worked on his feet in the offseason, trying to get it so that he'd be on balance at all times, not take as long a stride. One of the things he has to evolve to is moving his shoulders with his feet, not just bouncing, but being able to move as you're bouncing. You don't necessarily have to hitch up into the pocket and get pressure, put pressure on yourself. But as you move those feet and you bounce down your progression.
Trayvon Patterson waiting Angers punt. Patterson back at his 27. Bryan tries to head it towards the sideline. It will go that way and bounce near the 40-yard line and go out of bounds. When we come back, we'll check out the Golden Bears as they're punishing the Buffaloes 31-0. They're enjoying it at Memorial Stadium as Cal leads 31-0 over Colorado. Time for the Pac-10 Passion and Moment presented by Bank of the West. Let's go up on Tightwad Hill with Michael Leaves.
Well, Steve, if you want to see passion at a Cal football game, you need to come here to Tightwad Hill, the more popular name for Charter Hill, which ascends about 100 feet above the east rim of Memorial Stadium. You get a good view of the game from here, but also a beautiful shot of San Francisco Bay in the background. Now, this hill was created when the stadium was built in 1923 by moving some of the dirt from Lower Strawberry Canyon. Fans have been flocking to this vantage point since 1924. Now, it's pretty friendly up here. Aren't too many rules. Keep it friendly, keep it clean, but there is one absolute no-no. Don't wear red. If you want to wear red and go see a football game, you might want to go down the road and check out Stanford, because red is not allowed on Tightwad Hill.
Well, you are surrounded by bears up there, Michael, but I'd watch out for mountain lions, you know. Up there on the hill, that's the #1 mountain lion corridor in the state. So
thanks for letting me know.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Big walk up that hill.
It's interesting, both Memorial Stadium and Yankee Stadium were built in 1923. 1 year later, they had all those fans getting up there in the pine trees having fun. Here's the pass over the middle, and Colorado has a first down. That's Ryan Dean, the tight end from Poway. He's an interesting story because his family lost their home in October 2007 in that Witch Creek fire caused by the Santa Ana winds. A terrific young man, and he has talked about that in the past, but he is a future star, they believe, at that tight end position.
Yeah, he has the skills to make the plays out there. He's got size, he's got speed, he's got good ball skills while it's in the air, and developing into a full football player.
Patterson in motion, and they will give him the football, and Trayvon, who has terrific speed, gets near the 30. Let's go to a Phillips Television game break. Check. Thank you very much, Darren. And that Utah program, really good. Utah will definitely be coming to the Big Ten, the Pac-10 next year. Patterson goes out of bounds. So much movement in college football. You've got Nebraska going to the Big Ten. You've got Colorado and Utah coming to the Pac-10.
BYU doing their own thing now. You know, and it's amazing. I think bringing Utah to the Pac-10 is such a great fit. They've been such a dynamic team, and bring in there's a full breadth of the style of teams that you're going to have in the Pac-10 now. Your passing teams, your running teams, your zone read teams. It's going to bring such a mix to this conference, and then a conference championship in the end when it's all said and done. I just think that the Pac-10 is setting itself up to be the premier conference in the country.
But Colorado, with that weather, you've got to be able to run because of the bad weather in November. Here goes Hansen off to the races. He'll get another first down inside the 10-yard line. This is more like the way we expected Colorado to play.
Exactly. You spoke about running. Tyler Hansen, one of the things he worked on in the offseason is not taking off so quickly. That time, he made a great decision to take off, but he's got good genetics for running. His dad, former college football player at San Diego State. His mom was an All-American sprinter as well, so he's got the tools to be a runner, and that is what defensive coordinators get scared of, is a quarterback who can break, contain, and gash you for yards.
First and goal, Stewart. Well, he just muscles his way in the middle down near the 7-yard line, but they have not been able to get into that end zone simply because every time they get close, they either experience a sack or a penalty.
They need this. I was talking about taking that deep breath earlier. Getting in the end zone for Colorado will allow them to take that deep breath to go, okay, now we're back. We're back. We're doing what we need to do. They had some big comebacks last year, closed in pretty close. They need to get that on the board right now. If they score this touchdown, it allows them emotionally to get back in this game.
McKnight is in the slot on the right side. Will Hansen go to his favorite receiver? Oh, Hansen's going to run to the 5, and he's to the 3. It'll be 3rd and goal. Cameron Jordan on the tackle.
Again, a very good call down the goal line. You have to put people into coverage. You have to honor the pass. I expected him to take off for the outside, but it's a lot easier said from up here where nobody's about to hit me than it is from down there on the field where he's running the ball with people with angry intentions on their way.
3rd and goal.
Play action.
They give it to Stewart, and he's crushed at the 4-yard line.
I don't understand that. That's why I said play action. From 3rd goal from outside the 3, and you put in the muscle team, you haven't been blowing anybody off the ball, let's be honest, all game long. You need to run play action, at least keep people inside and get your key receivers on the outside, but that play wasn't going anywhere from the start.
They're going for it. They must.
Field goal doesn't no good here. They need to get that touchdown. They need to get over the hump.
McKnight is the flanker, wide left. Now he goes motion. Hansen tries to scramble, escapes, and will score the touchdown. So finally, Colorado on the scoreboard, but Hansen is down holding his right knee.
And hopefully he just caught a helmet on that knee. He got jarred pretty hard going into the end zone. But you hate to see that in a player. The trainer's right there on the spot immediately. Nice pump fake to freeze defenders. And he landed on it. That wasn't a helmet to the knee. He landed on it. Clean, clean hit, trying to keep him out of the end zone, but it's landing right there. That's what did it.
So Tyler Hansen, the junior from Murrieta, California, now running off the field. So that is a great sign.
And not even a limp in the run. He's just running off the field. That's good.
Finally, Colorado has scored on a Hansen escape for a touchdown from 4 yards out on 4th down.
And they needed that one.
Goodman's point after touchdown is good, and Colorado is on the scoreboard trailing California 31-7. Here's another look. Hansen hit right at the goal line, but into the end zone near the end of the 3rd quarter. The view from Tightwad Hill here in Berkeley, California. Colorado is on the scoreboard, trailing 31-7 to the California Golden Bears. Steve Fiziak along with Mike Pulaski and Michael Eaves. It's all Cal in the first half, and Tyler Hansen just raced in from 4 yards out for the touchdown.
He got it the hard way. Got nicked up going in. Walking around just fine now, but Colorado needed that touchdown. They needed to be able to take that breath, and now they need to put their defense on the field and see if they can get a stop.
Goodman kicking off. This is Keenan Allen, and he is to the 23-yard line. Well, tomorrow the NFL early regular season continues with a doubleheader on Fox. Begin with the Panthers battle as they take on the New York Giants in the new Meadowlands, or the Falcons Steelers, or Lions Bears. Then Aaron Rodgers and the Packers take on the Eagles, or the 49ers Seahawks. The Ford Fox NFL pregame show brought to you by the all-new Ford Edge Drive 1. Check local listings for the games in your area. It's finally here. College football and NFL football.
Great time of year, isn't it?
Yep. Great crowd here today, 55,440. And flags go down.
I believe that was Donovan Edwards on the outside.
Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
There's Donovan. It's a shame you always mention an offensive line when he makes a mistake.
That's
and
right.
Those are the guys that win for you.
That's right. The big guys. You, as a quarterback, you have to love those guys a ton. They have to be some of your best friends. The other thing is you have to put up with all the guff that they give you. That's the one thing you have to do from those guys, is take their heat.
Hey, you're the star. You got to be able to take it. Shane Vereen. Not much there. Shane averaging less than 4 yards per carry, but once again he was limited in the late summer because of a hamstring problem, and they said his fitness still is not there, and you said he's about 85%.
Yeah, he's probably 85% right now. You know, game speed is a whole lot different than practice speed, and guys get to play themselves into it with scrimmages and stuff like that. He didn't participate in a lot of that during camp, and so he's playing himself into game speed. And what that means is you're basically dealing with the adrenaline of going live. Whereas in practice, you're running, you may have great cardiovascular capacity, but you add some adrenaline to that and you narrow that cardiovascular capacity, so you have to be at game speed.
Riley with plenty of time sends the pass Keenan Allen's way. It is a short gain. They're still about 4 or 5 yards from a first down.
A great job by a young player, Keenan Allen, of having field awareness and just communicating with his eyes with the quarterback. Keenan Allen just ran a short little stop route on the outside, 12 yards. He was covered initially. He started to roll, move towards the middle, saw Riley coming towards him, scooted back out to the outside, found open space, and made it happen.
3rd and 4. Riley throws to Bahrain. Boy, they read that. And they were all over it.
Jeff Tedford and Andy Ludwig both love to get their athletes out in space. Vereen, a very good wide receiver. You take him out of the backfield, run that empty set, and throw him the football in space. He can create a lot out there with the special skills that he has.
Ron Gould coming over to visit with him, and look at the backs that Ron has developed over the years.
Marshawn Lynch, Javid Best, all of these guys that he's brought in and brought through. J.J. Arrington, you can go down the list. Just some phenomenal backs. He's just been such a fantastic coach here at Cal. And he was the one holdover coach when Coach Tedford came in.
There's a flag as Anger smashes the football over everybody's head, and they will down it inside the 10-yard line. Wow, that guy has a monster leg.
Can you say
a flag down, but
bomb?
That was a Ray Guy hang time.
He just stroked a bomb. 67 in flight. That is how you hit it.
Illegal formation. Offense.
Oh, what a shame for the Bears.
5-yard penalty.
You think back to Nick Harris when Nick Harris was here, now punting at the next level. Such a great punter, and he would hit those kind of shots. Now coming out, Anger is just blasting the ball.
Well, after a punt like that being called back, Brian might be a little angry. I mean, he has one of the best punters in America. He's on the Ray Guy watch list. And he leads the Pac-10 after 1 week, averaging 49 yards per punt last week.
5-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot. We will replay 4th down.
So let's see if Brian can get in one again.
Reload.
You talk about a baseball player hitting it on the sweet spot. I'm sure the same thing is true with a great punter, where they hit it and they go, yeah, that one felt really good.
Punters, kickers, golfers, and baseball players. You get that shot. I'm sure tennis players too. Anything where you strike a ball, you hit it and it just feels soft and it feels like there's nothing there.
He's a big guy at 6 feet 4 inches tall, 207 pounds, and really works out hard in the weight room.
Oh, he did it again.
My goodness. I think some NFL scouts are checking that young man out. And there's a block in the back, and this one's coming back. Colorado thinks they have it at the 42. They're going to be pinned back inside their 10-yard line. A 65-yard punt by Brian Anger. Way to hit it, young man.
So he hits 67, it gets called back, and he goes 65. That is just sick. 2 in a row, stroked them both.
It's like home run derby on a Monday night.
I believe the golf term would be grooving your swing. He's got his swing groove.
Illegal block in the back, number 18 of the return team. Penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Jonathan Hawkins out there with the illegal block.
Well, some scouts checking that young man out because he hammered him back-to-back. Good hang time.
What a weapon. I mean, not in this game, it doesn't matter as much, but think about in tight games. If you have a great punter like Anger, who can just change the field in one kick, that is huge. A huge part of your defense. Just to change the field like that, having a great punter, there's nothing like it.
We usually talk offense and defense, but special teams and turnovers usually are what decide games. When you can pin your opponent back, wow. Our 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Phillips Televisions. Steve Fiziak, Mike Pulaski, and Michael Eaves with you in Berkeley, California at Memorial Stadium. A crowd of better than 55,000 enjoying this one as Cal has a 31-7 lead on Colorado, and the Buffaloes starting from their own 7-yard line. Hansen, who finally got his knee dinged on that touchdown score, comes out and hands the football off to Rodney Stewart. That's the end of the third quarter. Cal with a big 24-point lead, 31-7 over Colorado. Look at our DirecTV game summary. Vereen with 2 scores in the game. Jones had a 4-yard touchdown catch from Kevin Riley. Riley now 5 touchdown passes this year and no interceptions. And Mike Mohammed, right before the end of the first half, picks off a pass and goes 41 yards for a touchdown.
They've been good on every side of the ball so far here for the Bears.
And the quarter ended on that long punt because a quarter cannot end on a penalty, so they got the extended play. Anger hammered at 65, and Colorado now has the football, and they get it to Stewart, who muscles his way past the 10-yard line. Let's go to a Phillips Television's game break and check in with Darren Horton. I remember Ironhead Hayward. He was a terrific back, and here's a look at the coaches poll. Alabama right now #1. They'll take on 14 Penn State. I'll tell you what, Oklahoma very impressive, knocking off Florida State. Football up near the 15-yard line as the catch is made by Will Jefferson, and Cameron Jordan on the tackle, a 6'4", 283-pound senior from Chandler, Arizona.
Now you look at Florida, though, in there at third. They need to start getting a little more offensive production. Virginia Tech, they lost to James Madison today. Now they've lost to Boise State and James Madison. So Boise State up there at 5. TCU looking very good in their win over Oregon State.
Oregon State in the Pac-10, the only school off this week.
And Iowa tough. Arizona goes there next week.
Jeremy Ross with a fair catch at the 36-yard line. That's where Cal will start their offense. They have not even had a first down since the 10:48 mark of the second quarter. 49 yards on the punt by Grosnickel.
49-yard punt, no return.
California impressive in their opener, a 52-3 win over UC Davis. Really impressive in the first half against Colorado with a 31-0 lead at halftime. Now let's see if they can get their offense going. And it seems like Jeff Tedford determined to get that run game going.
That's it. Jeff Tedford, he's a quarterback guy, quarterback guru, but he is a 2-back, run the football type of coach. And that's why his quarterbacks have been so great, because he is persistent with the running game.
Looking to Vereen, now going deep, a wide open Marvin Jones, and Jones is to the 20. He's finally dragged down at the 3-yard line. What a play as Jones got wide open and Riley hit him perfectly in stride.
Almost fought his way into the end zone. 61-yard pitch and catch. Nice job by Marvin Jones. He had to slow down to make that catch, but he has great ball skills. You see Riley coming out to the right. Jones just breaking free on a corner route, slows down, catches the ball, turns it back on, but guys in pursuit. Strong, physical player, good worker in the weight room, and he keeps his feet and keeps moving towards the goal line.
Vereen cutting back, not much there, and good defense by Tyler Alice, outside linebacker. Also Patrick Meinke.
I know Coach Ludwig loves his tight ends. He really likes the guys he's got playing. So does Coach Tedford. He told us about it. A little shallow today because they've got some injuries there. A couple of guys nicked up at the spot. But the tight end package down on the goal line is absolutely essential in this Golden Bear offense.
That's Anthony Miller, number 80, who goes 261 pounds. A jump from the right side. And that was Tyler Rigsby, a sophomore from Chico, California.
Good ball. Ball start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
So now they'll pull it back near the 7-yard line, and it will be second down, and obviously a change of play. They might have run the football. This time they'll take Miller out. We haven't seen Spencer Ladner very much, and he's a big target at 6 feet 7 inches tall.
He's in the game right now.
You can just throw it up for grabs for him. Keenan Allen goes motion. Riley play action. Touchdown, Keenan Allen.
Let me see. Let me pick my weapon. I've got Marvin Jones over there. I've got Keenan Allen over there. I've got Spencer Ladner over there. He has a bevy of very good wide receivers, perfectly spaced right where they're supposed to be. That is chalkboard execution. Flat, higher flat, and up the seam. You get those three on a 3-level route. You split your coverages. You're going to find somebody open because of the spacing of the wide receivers.
They have had great receivers in the past, from Sean Dawkins to Deshaun Jackson. Perhaps Keenan Allen is the next great one, and Berkeley, California. He already has 3 touchdowns in his first 2 college games. Riley with another touchdown throw, and Cal leads Colorado there. The kid from Greensboro, North Carolina, having a pretty good start in his Division I college days, and Kevin Riley playing catch with his receivers, guys like Shane Vereen. Vereen's got 1 through the air, 1 on the ground. Tyler Hansen has the only Colorado touchdown, but this is the one to Allen.
Keenan Allen so good, found his spacing. Second level route, and Riley doing a nice job of reading it, picking apart that defense, and delivering the ball where it's supposed to be. He's 12 for 19 on the day for 161 and 3 tugs. Nice job, very efficient day for Kevin Riley.
So he has 6 touchdown passes this year, no interceptions, and you talked about him being more consistent and upping that percentage. He's only been a 54-55% guy in his career, and he would like to be up in the 65 range.
Oh, absolutely, 65. You know, high 60s is always good for a quarterback, but confidence is key in that. And so much of what's gone on with his career here has led to that. You know, in his first year here, he filled in for Nate Longshore, and from there it was a bumpy road, but now he's building his confidence finally as a senior.
Our eHarmony game stats, you can see the numbers for California. Their defense has been absolutely fantastic. They've forced 3 turnovers by Colorado, including 1 taken back for a touchdown by Mike Muhammad. The Buffaloes, 9 penalties, 8 in the first half. Hansen remains the quarterback. We have not seen Cody Hawkins, the coach's son. Off target. Clemens had to come back for the football. Sean Cattouse in the area covering.
I question whether Hansen was off target or whether Clemens did not come back on his route like he was supposed to. He took 2 or 3 extra steps up on the top of his stem, and when you do that, you're not running the route to precision timing. Hansen was trying to throw it on time. Clemens was off time. So sometimes when you look at that between a quarterback and receiver, it's hard to put it on, you know, anybody but the quarterback because the ball's off target. But sometimes receivers are not where they're supposed to be too.
With such a big lead, California just rushing 4. Hansen trying to step up. He will scramble and slides forward. Still a couple of yards shy of a first down as he's taken down by Sean Cattouse.
But that's what a mobile quarterback gives you. A guy who can run gives you those yards. Whereas if you have a guy back there who's a little more slow of foot, can't get out of the pocket, you're in trouble because Cal's defense did a nice job covering downfield. But that makes you play all 11 guys on defense. You have to be aware of where the quarterback is if you have a quarterback like Tyler Hansen.
Well, Stewart is like 95% converting 3rd and 1s in his career, so he'll get the carry. And he does muscle forward for the first down. I love this little guy. 5 feet 6 inches tall, 175 pounds, but his legs never stop moving.
Just strong as can be. I mean, he is so tough inside there. Think about a little guy like that taking on the 300-pounders in on that defensive line, the big 250-pound linebackers, and he just keeps getting up and keeps delivering blows.
And that's why you really feel like this Colorado team should be better than the 3-1 team last year. 17 starters are back, including Rodney Stewart, who was 5th in the Big 12 last year, averaging 73 yards per game. He goes in motion. Over the middle they go, intended for Scotty McKnight, but too low was the throw from Tyler.
That's all about footwork. You need to have footwork as a quarterback, and I talked about it earlier, Fizz. When you're back in the pocket, you're feeling the heat, you've got guys coming after you, you get uncomfortable. You can't set your feet, you can't step up. That time Hansen got back and was really shaky with his footwork, and when he came to deliver, he wasn't on rhythm. Short in his stride, threw the ball low. If you're not in rhythm, if you're taking shots, it's hard to be comfortable back there, and that's what Tyler Hansen's suffering from that day.
2nd and 10. Blitz on. Stewart can't hold on to it, and I believe they grabbed his face mask and took him down. I wanted to ask you, who's the best you have ever seen at what you were talking about, being comfortable in that pocket, facing pressure?
Well, John Elway is phenomenal facing pressure. I think Dan Marino was awesome because his shoulders and hips were always where he was going with the football. Tom Brady is very good at it. Kurt Warner is excellent at it as well. So those guys are all very good. When you think back to college, Vinny Testaverde with Miami was phenomenal with it. So there's a lot of guys who can move and who get their feet set with their eyes.
It will give Colorado a 1st down at their own 44-yard line. Hansen's going deep, looking for Tony Clemens. Intercepted. What great coverage by Steve Williams, the redshirt freshman from Dallas, Texas.
And Clemens just let Williams outcompete him for that ball. Clemens kept running while the ball was in the air. Meanwhile, Steve Williams played that football like you should as a corner. He went up, got it at the high point, and as a result, the Bears end up with the football coming back.
And we are back here at Memorial Stadium. The Cal Bears leading Colorado 38-7. A strong defensive performance today from the Cal Bears. When you think of the Cal defense, a lot of people think of Darian Hagan. As a sophomore, he registered 56 tackles and 3 interceptions, and a lot of people thought he was ready to become one of the elite cornerbacks in the Pac-10. But last year as a junior, he actually went the other way. His tackles were nearly cut in half, and he failed to intercept even one pass. But what a lot of people didn't realize that back in his native Los Angeles, his 1-year-old daughter, Kayana, was battling Wilms tumor, a rare form of kidney cancer that primarily affects toddlers. She actually underwent surgery to remove her kidney as well as chemotherapy treatments during the 2009 season. Hagan said as much as he tried to go to classes and games and practices worry-free, the thought of his young daughter fighting for her life without him by her side would always creep back into his head. Thankfully, though, he received the news late last December that Kayana is now cancer-free, allowing him to focus back on his pursuit of a degree in social welfare and also getting back to that goal of becoming one of the best cornerbacks in the Pac-10.
Absolutely great story, Michael, and as a parent, you know how challenging that can be. His father is Darian on the other side, the Buffs running backs coach, and who was the quarterback of this football team when Colorado won their national championship back in 1990. And Darian talked about the challenges that his son faced during that difficult time last year.
Absolutely. You think about how hard it is as a student just to get to class at a great academic university like Cal, and then you add in the 60 to 80 hours of football a week that you're putting in, film room and everything else. And on top of that, now your daughter, you have to think about her life. You know, if my son gets the sniffles, I'm worried about him. She's fighting for her life.
Yeah.
And that is so much stress and so much strain. He kept a lot of it inside. Not too many people actually knew about this story, about what was going on with him. And people saw his play start to drop off. But you only have so much attention. But this year he's come back. He's stronger. He's healthier. He's able to focus on football and school. And he is a phenomenal player when he's at his best.
He has always had the talent to be one of the top cornerbacks in the Pac-10 conference. Eric Stevens near a first down. Let's see where they mark the football. They had to get to the 39-yard line for a first down. They'll mark it 2 yards shy at the 37. But his coach, Jeff Tedford, very aware of that. And Tedford, he has 2 sons, one who plays for the football team. And he was very aware and understanding of Darian's situation last season. So Fele, first down and more. You know, we were talking about Jeff. He's always had 2 backs. Last year, Javed Best and Shane Vereen, and now it might be Sofele, but he also has some understudies like Desarte Yarnway and Koban Daboski Johnson, who are pretty good running backs as well.
Exactly, a big back in Yarnway who can hit the hole inside real tough. Daboski Johnson gets off. He's a perimeter guy, likes to hit the outside. And Sofele, I mean, he pulled away that injury I talked about earlier to Vereen in camp. The hammy actually gave Sofele an opportunity to shine, and he showed how quick he was right there.
Trips to the right side. Riley play action, steps up, going for the home run. This is Allen. Ooh, he almost made a remarkable catch as he was fighting Jaleel Brown for the football.
Nice job of trying to reel it in. Jaleel Brown, an excellent play. There's a shining spot. See, I want to pick on the shining spots for Colorado. Jaleel Brown in coverage with a very good, although young, very good wide receiver, and makes a play on the ball. So excellent defensive play by Jaleel Brown. But Keenan Allen still almost came away with that football.
Look at his eyes.
Great replay. Great shot.
2nd and 10. Ross in motion. They give it to Sofele, and he is hammered. 3-yard loss. I wanted to ask you about Keenan Allen. I have not seen in the past California going into North Carolina to get athletes. How did they get Allen? What's the hookup there?
You know what's really funny is they were recruiting him all along. They knew that he was a special athlete. A lot of teams from around the country were going in to pick him up. So they just won the recruiting battle. But they have gone into Texas and picked up guys. They've gone into Florida and picked up guys. Tedford has turned this program into a program that can recruit on that national level. They found a way to go get these kids. Their name is out there, their brand is out there, and now they can really recruit with some of the bigger schools.
And Tedford wins here in Berkeley. Riley throws. Ross with the catch. First down, out of bounds near the 24.
Riley told us yesterday Jeremy Ross is an absolute freak. He's a 4.3 40. He's a physical specimen. To this point in his career, he's been a little bit inconsistent because he had all those special tools, but he would drop a pass, he'd lose focus here, or he'd be down in practice, so he wouldn't practice very well. This year, Coach Ludwig challenged him. He said, hey, this is your year to step up. You either got to do it or you're not going to do it. And this year, Jeremy Ross rose to the challenge. He has stepped up, and he has become the player that his physical tools will allow him to be.
Cal deep at that wide receiver position. They run the reverse. Marvin Jones, a lane to fly through, and Marvin is to the 1-yard line.
Had some big boys out in front, had other receivers out in front. Riley was trying to get out in front. A nice team effort. And we talked about being competitive. Watch, Riley gets out in front for him, trying to block. Big boys. Schwartz is out there. Richard Fisher is out there. Everybody's trying to get him to the end zone. Still competitive at this point of the game. That's what you want to see, that killer instinct in your offense.
Play action, Sofele, touchdown, California.
Well, that was a stealer. Pitch and catch, as easy as it gets right there. Play action on the goal line. I always love play action on the goal line. Gives you every option, but you get your back out to the flat like that in a free throwing lane by your quarterback. You just can see Sofele straight off into the flat. Nobody there to run with him. Pitch and catch. And a nice job of looking it in.
Giorgio Tavecchio with the point after touchdown, but what a game for Kevin Riley. We talked about him being in the upper 60s in percentage this year, near 70%, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions, 4 scores today. Steve Visiak, Mike Pulaski, and Mike Leaves with you in Berkeley, California, all Golden Bears, and Isi Sofele scoring his first touchdown of the year. Trying to be part of that mix with Shane Vereen as 2 great backs that Cal once again has. They go 4 deep in their offensive backfield, and they lead Colorado 45-7. Kickoff will go out of bounds. That brings a flag. But Kevin Riley, you think of his numbers today: 15 for 23, 198 yards and 4 touchdowns. Outstanding numbers. He now has 7 touchdown passes this year and no interceptions. And there were 4 incredibly hot quarterbacks in a great quarterback league, the Pac-10 Conference. Last week, staggering numbers for guys like Andrew Luck and Matt Barkley. Jake Locker had an off game, but when you consider Luck, Foles, I mean, these are the Heisman hopefuls.
Not just quarterbacks, but running backs in this conference as well. Very good. You know, LaMichael James. You think of Kenyon Barner, who was filling in for James last week up in Oregon as well. This is an offensively explosive league this year.
1 more sack. This time it comes from Trevor Guyton. 6 sacks today by the Bears defense. First and 10 line is brought to you by Phillips Televisions. Well, somebody's helmet went flying and the ball was incomplete. There's a few drops. We were talking about the Pac-10 quarterbacks, and I went and looked back at the first week, and there were 4 hot guys. Matt Barkley threw for 5 touchdowns against Hawaii. Andrew Luck had a brilliant performance. But check out these numbers: 81 for 103 by Luck, Foles, Riley, and Barkley. Foles threw 37 passes, and only 5 of them were incomplete.
Unbelievable accuracy. Look at that. In the first week, the touchdown output is just amazing. It's getting back. The Pac-10 as a quarterbacks conference. Always been known for great quarterbacks. Pac-10 has always been known for great quarterbacks. And you know, there were guys last year too, but this year I think the whole competition, the whole level has just stepped up. You look at Barkley, you look at Luck, you look at, you know, if Riley can be consistent and as confident as he is, Kevin Riley is right in that discussion. Foles, you go. Deron Thomas is actually going to be a pretty good quarterback in the end of this whole thing. So there are some really good quarterbacks out there all across the board, and I think offensively, Pac-10 is just explosive.
Jeremy Ross, fair catch at the 22-yard line. Our college football action continues. Showdown Saturday. Can Wyoming do the unthinkable and upset powerful number 4 Texas? I don't think so. And Virginia heads west to meet mighty USC. Lane Kiffin's defense is angry. The action continues at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. Do you think there's been great quarterbacks because this is such a favorable climate? I mean, you go back to the 60s, Gary Beeman, and then Jim Plunkett, John Elway. I mean, one quarterback after the other, because you can play a West Coast offense in this kind of weather.
Yeah, here and in the South, you can play a lot of different styles, and it is suitable. I think obviously out here, they were more advanced in terms of experimenting with offenses on the Pac-10 as well. I think guys, Bo Sweeney coming in out here now for the Bears at quarterback, speaking of quarterbacks, but they'd experiment more. They'd put the ball through the air, and I think teams were more open to the passing game early on and established it as a quarterback conference.
Because obviously the Big Ten would come out west and play in the Rose Bowl, and even a quarterback like Rick Neuheisel would light up a Big Ten team and throw for 4 touchdowns and a Rose Bowl victory. I'm going to hear from that.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
He was a heck of a quarterback, but a guy who had to walk on.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think high recruit, but very bright and an excellent quarterback.
Excellent quarterback, yeah. Very sharp, very mentally savvy. Obviously, those guys get into coaching. And Rick, a very smart coach, very savvy, was a very savvy quarterback as well.
I'll always remember
Speaking of
that
savvy
game.
quarterbacks, there's another one. Jeff Tedford, a quarterback himself from Fresno State.
Play a little bit in the CFL. And he played for Jim Sweeney, who was a great coach at Fresno State. And Jim Sweeney's son, Kevin, became a terrific quarterback, an All-American quarterback. And Kevin's son is now the quarterback for California at number 9.
Yeah, and Jeff played with Kevin, and now Kevin's son is playing for Jeff.
All in the family. Well, this young man, he is a double threat from high school. He went to Clovis West in Fresno, threw for over 1,000, and ran for over 1,000 his senior year.
I got to see game footage on him in high school, and he just dominated the field. He was a guy that you could see was in control at all times.
Jeff thought he was a little excited last week.
A little tight. He had that one read option. If the first guy wasn't open, he was going to run the football. And that just comes from experience. You get in there. Again, I talk about it. Adrenaline as a quarterback is your worst enemy. You get out there and your adrenaline's pumping and you're moving too fast and the game's going so fast and you feel like you're playing some kind of crazy video game where things are flying by your head. But once you get around it and you let everything calm down and the game settles, it's like the Matrix. Everything just slows down and you're in it. And you can see things happening before they happen. And that's what great quarterbacks, they get to that level. And that's why it's such a shame what we've seen happen to Tyler Hansen. He has the tools to be a really good quarterback. But this game isn't slowing down for him. It's speeding up because he's getting hit so much. Your offensive line has to protect you. You have to see it. You have to be able to take a breath, let that adrenaline go away, and then play football.
Kovan Daboski Johnson was the last man to run that football, and the Bears have plenty to be smiling about today. Their Bears lead 45-7. They run the middle, and it's Desarte Yarnway. Let's check in with Michael Eaves.
Yeah, guys, throughout the day we've been talking about the success that Jeff Tedford has had here at Cal. A lot of people may forget that in 2001, Cal finished 1-10. Tedford came in the following year, and the Bears have had 8 consecutive seasons of winning games since he's been the head coach, including 7 straight bowl appearances. And with his win last week over UC Davis, he passed College Football Hall of Famer Pappy Waldorf for the most wins all time in the modern era at Cal with 68. Today will make 69. He's 3rd all time in the program's history. But Tedford told me that it was just an honor to achieve the mark, not because of the total number of wins, but mostly because it puts him in the class of one of the most revered names in Cal football history in Pappy Waldorf, whose legacy can still be felt on this campus more than 50 years after he retired. He actually told us a story of a group of former players from Pappy Waldorf called Pappy's Boys that come back to Berkeley every year, reconvene throughout the decades, and just get together and remember how great it was playing for Coach Waldorf.
And didn't Jeff go over and speak to Pappy's Boys last night?
Oh, absolutely. And I've been around those guys. I've met those guys. I've been to their meetings. As good a group of men as you will ever meet in your life. They took something away from Pappy. They took an ethos away from him. And all of those guys are to be admired and respected. And they talk about Pappy. They revere him as a god. I mean, he is just a legend among that group. And you can still feel his presence, like Michael was saying, on campus today. And Andy Smith, the other coach who Jeff is sneaking up on, the bench on the far side of the field is named after Andy Smith. So Jeff Tedford has put himself in some pretty elite company.
Bo Sweeney knocked out of bounds near the 40-yard line. You talk to so many young players, and they'll say their 2 greatest mentors in their life were their father and their coach.
Yes, absolutely. Because, and especially for a college coach, once you leave home and you get out of your father's home, somebody fills that gap. Now you start to become your own person, you grow up, you mature, but that head coach becomes that figure of respect, that figurehead that you have to look to. And you can have a guy like Jeff Tedford, or you could have a guy, you know, like I think back Mike Bellotti, or some great ones, Dick Tomey, we talked about this the other day. Some of these great coaches who are great figures for kids to look up to. And if you get a guy like that, then you are truly fortunate as a player.
There is Tyler Hansen. You know, I've been watching him. It looks like he's limping a little bit. He was dinged as he scored the only touchdown by Colorado in the 3rd quarter. He is a very capable backup in Cody Hawkins, the coach's son. But Dan has not gone in that direction, staying with Tyler Hansen, who's looking downfield and completes the pass for a first down near the 45-yard line. Ryan Dean on the catch. And there is Cody, senior from Boise. And interestingly, Cody and Tyler are great friends. They're unselfish, and Cody, everybody talks about he's going to be a terrific coach.
Yeah, he's a great teammate. Right now, when they go out to practice, he'll actually bring a play script. So coaches script plays that going into practice so that they can run through their team drills and run through their pass skeleton and all those drills. Cody will bring out a pass script, and he'll actually quiz Tyler when they're in off drills or during special teams periods on his hot reads, on his checks, on all the different things he's going to look at during the game. So they work together to get better. And this week, Cody actually called or texted the coaches. They had put into play special for Cal. He texted in some changes that he thought would work. The coaches had just put those changes in themselves. So they say he's going to be one heck of a coach one day.
A fumble by the tight end Dean, a recovery by California, and here go the Golden Bears, and they are absolutely blowing out the Buffaloes.
To the house.
Darian Hagan, how about that? His father, a great star at Colorado, and it's Hagan coming up with the fumble and taking it the distance for the Bears on a 78-yard fumble return.
Nice job of pitch and catch. Good job catching the ball, but just a great strip, punching that ball out of there. And you get it, and you take it to the house. Doesn't get any better than that if you're a DB now, does it?
Tavecchio going after Good. Cal scores 52 last week against UC Davis. They put 52 on the board against Colorado. Darian Hagan, a 3-year starter. His father is the Buffalo's running back coach, and his dad said to watch him against my alma mater is unbelievable. Well, he just saw the unbelievable happen, and you had to believe his heart was pounding a little faster when he watched his son take this one back 78 yards.
Nice job of Mullins by punching that one out, but Darian Jr. saying, hey, Dad, you may have been good back in 1990, but it's my time right now. I'm taking it to the house.
Mike, we talked to Jeff Tedford yesterday because California in the Tedford era has always been excellent at turnover margin.
Yes.
They're always plus.
Yes.
And you talked about Jeff's attention to detail. Yesterday he was talking about ball security. We teach stripping. We talk about being in position to recover a fumble. And the result is today.
They do their turnover circuit. They learn how to punch the ball out. When you come from behind the tackler, punch it out, strip it out, rip at the ball. They practice that every day. They practice how to recover fumbles, ball on the ground, how do you recover it every week. They practice on how going after interceptions. They practice on all of these things, how to protect the football. That's the attention to detail that creates championship teams. Without it, you miss something here or there. But, you know, Jeff Tedford almost never misses a detail.
Well, this is going to be a very competitive year for the Pac-10 Conference. Just about every school outside Washington State, and just Washington State isn't there yet, but the other 9, it could be quite a battle. Remember, California is trying to get to the Rose Bowl for the first time in 52 years.
Since Pappy's boys.
Yep.
The Hagan family out there celebrating with Darian. He's pretty happy. Thinks he's going to go over and give Dad a big hug and then maybe a little elbow in the ribs.
Yep. And Dad can always say, well, go get yourself a national championship. I got one.
I got one. He's still got the ring, doesn't he?
At one time, California, though, was the power in college football. They won 4 national titles from 1920 through 1923 and a 5th in 1937. Their coach was Andy Smith. Well, if Cal can get a victory this year as they go deep and drop in the football is Trayvon Patterson. But if California can get a winning season this year, Jeff Tedford is looking for its 9th consecutive winning season, which would establish a school record. Not even Andy Smith did that when he won the 4 national titles.
Yeah, and Jeff has been so good. And we talk about bowl games, too. 7 bowl games in the 8 years. But the first year, they were ineligible for a bowl game, or else they would have gone as well. So he would have been in a bowl game every year. He's just been so good to this program. And, they've had a couple down years. And people would say, oh, what about Coach? And the first thing I'll say is, you're crazy. Are you nuts? Look what he's done since he's been here. 8.4 wins per year. He has been phenomenal for Golden Bear football and for the fans.
Stewart goes down hard. Well, they have 104 points in 2 games. You can win some games when you average 52. And they have given up a total of 10 points to the first 2 opponents. Jeff Tedford, a marvelous job against Dan Hawkins' Buffaloes, who suffer, and they fall for the first time this year. They are 1-1. Darian Hagan going against his Pop's old team goes 78 yards for a score in a brilliant game for Kevin Riley, who threw for 4 touchdowns today.
Building that confidence that we talked about, absolutely essential for a quarterback to feel confident when you step in, when you make the throw. You've got to feel confident with these guys. He likes this receiving group. Best skill set position that he said that he's had in 2 years. He's feeling like the leader. He's feeling protected. Great on offense, but the defense has also been phenomenal.
Let's check in with Michael Eaves.
All right, Steve, here with head coach Jeff Tedford. Another impressive performance, not just from your offense and your defense. Special teams, all 3 facets look very impressive today.
Yeah, you really work to have a team effort, and I thought all 3 phases had their times where they did some good things. Still need to improve on some, but for the most part, played pretty well.
Kevin Riley, 2 impressive games so far. You expect that from your senior, but I also know you're very pleased with the improvement you've already seen since last season.
Yeah, he's done a nice job so far. We got a long way to go. Played pretty well today, made good decisions, and turned the football over, and so that's key right there. And so we got to keep progressing.
Appreciate the time, Jeff. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
Jeff Tedford and the Cal Bears beat Colorado guys 52-7. Here's something, a little perspective on the defense, guys. The first 2 games this season, they've given up only a total of 10 points. That's the fewest total in the first 2 games since 1968. And that year, the team they played in the second game, Colorado.
Michael, thank you very much. There's one of the stars, Kevin Riley, the senior quarterback from Portland, Oregon. Now 7 touchdown passes this year and no interceptions. We'll be back with more.
I thought Colorado was actually going to show up, man.
I thought they
complete game for California and a 52-7 win over Colorado. Kevin Riley 4 touchdown passes. The defense 6 sacks, an interception return for a touchdown, and a fumble return for a touchdown. So that's it from Memorial Stadium, where the final score is Cal 52, Colorado 7. Stay tuned for Big 12 football action as Wyoming takes on Texas. Then at 10:30, it's Virginia and USC. For Mike Pulaski and Michael Eaves, I'm Steve Fiziak. You've been watching Pac-10 College Football Saturday, presented by Phillips Televisions.